different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
Keep trying. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The State Department signaling another Gaza ceasefire proposal is in the works from the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar after the murders of 6 hostages.
The president is personally engaged in talks with allies and partners on crafting a proposal to release hostages still held by Hamas and in fighting to surge humanitarian aid into Gaza, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says.
And the killing over the weekend just underscores the sense of urgency that we have to have in order to get it to closure.
6 hostages, including a dual American citizen, were executed.
Hamas is responsible for their deaths. And as the president said, Hamas leaders will pay for their crimes.
President Biden told reporters Monday Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is not doing enough to secure a hostage deal.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The prime minister facing mass protests in Israel demanding a hostage deal. And in New York City, pro-Palestinian demonstrators returning to Columbia University and renewing their call for divestment from Israel. A former aide to New York's governor is accused of acting as an agent for the Chinese government.
Federal officials say Linda's son faces charges including visa fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy to violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act. The 41-year-old accused of using her position as a senior aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul to serve the Chinese government in exchange for millions of dollars.
Fox's Christian Goodwin, son's husband, is also facing charges. The governor's office says son was fired last year after evidence of misconduct was discovered and reported to law enforcement. A sell-off on Wall Street after a key manufacturing index was negative for a 5th straight month, fueling renewed concern about the economy. An hour to the close, the Dow's now down 623 points. America is listening to Fox News.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Madam Giselle senses something big coming.
Is it a career change?
Everything looks wet.
I'm going to be a swim teacher.
There's a roof.
A swim teacher who also does roofing.
No, the roof of your RV has a leak and it's ruining the furniture.
Oh, that's okay. I'm covered by Progressive. But maybe I'm a swim teaching roofer who makes furniture.
Customize your coverage with Progressive's Roof Protection Plus and be prepared for the unexpected. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Roof Protection Plus available for RVs less than 6 years old. $250 deductible applies to any claim.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls. Seems like Monday, but it's not. There we go. Flounder. Standing by. It does seem like Monday, but we'll tell you, we had a 3-dayer going here, and a lot of things happening and stuff. We'll talk about her up to. We have a lot of politics in the news here today, as you probably know if you've been listening to the station. It's a lot of politics stuff. And we'll get to it all, and we'll also have a little fun, goof around with Founders Funnies and Pete's tweets and Holy Crap at Sports, and we just got all kinds of things here to do, too, including... and by the way, Pete handed me a story. It's not a story. It was a Facebook posting Was that my fault? Turn that down a little bit.
Yeah,
sorry.
thank you.
Well, I just, for some, now, how did that turn up? My phone just started playing a video of me with Stretchy the horse taking treats. I did not do anything. It went on by itself. I don't know. I didn't do anything. You saw me. I didn't touch anything.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, Pete handed me this a Facebook meme, and I started reading it, and there was a woman at the airport in Dallas, and she had a flight home. Something incredible was happening. There were a plane carrying the remains of an American pilot shot down over Vietnam in 1967. And that's all I read when I saw it. I said, I'll mention this first. And then I made the mistake of reading the rest of it.
Yeah, that's not something you lead off with.
So I'm not leading off
with
it. I started crying. You didn't even have no idea. I was bawling over in the corner. Jesus.
Well, that's normal. I don't even notice you doing that anymore. Just racking sobs in the corner. I'm like, it's Tuesday.
My God. Well, I'll get to it, but it may take me a minute.
Yeah, do that last.
But it's so funny. I mean, I said, and I started read the rest, but crap, you bastard. You did it on purpose, you son of a bitch.
It was like a bouncing Betty left in the jungle for you.
Yeah, let's talk about Vietnam some more. God. Okie doke. Anyway, no. You look like a teenager. I couldn't help it. Anyway, they're all look alike in the dark. But seriously, okay. I came across a very funny thing. Again, we have a lot of newsy stuff, but I don't want to. Let's and the protest. My God, the mass Jew-hating Democrats in colleges. My God, I mean, and the Hamas thing. I mean, just how much do you have to take? I mean, okay, we got it all. Okay, all right. Now, first of all, I thought this was kind of funny. As you know, I love to read. I have at least 3 or 4 books and magazines on my nightstand, and every night when I go to bed, or before I go to bed, I read, and I read several different things. And the problem is, as I used to go into the drugstores, and they would have the top 20 paperbacks, they were in a rack. They don't do that anymore. Nobody has that anymore. Even the bookstores do not have a stand that says, here are the top 20 paperbacks. They're right there in front of you. Because if they did, I'd go in every week and buy several. But they don't have them anymore. You have to go hunting in all the aisles to try to find authors and see it's unbelievable. What the hell's the matter with them?
What bookstores? There's only one bookstore left.
That's right, North Point Mall, the one
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble.
That's it.
Yeah, and there's no stand that has the top 20 freaking paperbacks that used to have in drugstores.
They're not known for their customer service.
They don't give a crap. And then try to find somebody to, I think it's over in aisle 7. Oh, over in that other area? Care. Anyway, okay. So what I do now is I save. I have every book that Lee Child ever wrote, Jack Reacher's series and stuff, and a whole bunch of them like that. Who's the guy just passed away too? I can't remember. He had oh God, I'm going to kill myself when I get home. Anyway, so I've got all these books, and so what I do now is I put a date on when I read them, and then several years later I'll read them again because I've just for the fun of it. And I'm reading a book now by Lee Child. And one of them is, and he made a comment, and I remember doing this when I read it 5 years ago, and I just, here's a little trivia, kind of a goofy thing to think about. There is only one numerical number in the English language, which actually is the same number of letters that spell it as its value in the number. There's only one number in the American language which has the same number of letters as the number's value.
I have no clue what you're saying.
Well, you spell the numbers, and there's only one number. If you spell the numbers, you spell the number 7, it's got 5 letters. If you spell the number 12, it's got 8 letters and not 12 letters. The number 3 does not have 3 letters. The number 2 does not have 2 letters. Only the number 4 has the same number of letters as its value. Now, I don't know why that's. Wouldn't it make sense if every number had the number of letters in its value?
Let's ask Flounder here. Is that nugget of joy better than the one I had, which is every odd number has the letter E in it?
Well, there you are.
That one's a little more easy to understand.
Yeah, the one you did.
After you explained it with the numbers, I get it. But I mean, it's also kind of like if you pronunciate the letter W. It sounds like a word, not a letter.
It should be double V. It should not be a W. There's no U in that.
That's what I'm saying.
Writing.
There's no D either. W started. I mean, so
cursive.
Yeah. Well, no. That's
you ever the Walgreens and the Washington Nationals.
Yeah. Well, they do it incorrectly, obviously.
Well, the Nationals.
They do it artistically, which is not correct.
Sorry, Mike.
Thank you. Well, that's all I got.
Well, that started us
3:09. See you, boys.
Humdinger of a start.
I got a
3-day weekend,
Lord.
obviously. Clayton Kershaw's on the IL. He's got a bone spur in his elbow.
I don't know what the hell
Thank goodness
happened.
it's his left elbow.
I swear to God, I don't know what happened.
Not something important.
Oh, my God.
That you might need later.
I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, I hit balls, for a bucket of balls, but I didn't have any injuries, and it's my left arm. But all of a sudden, God, this morning, I moved it, and it hurt like a son of a gun, and I've got a big bump on the inside of my elbow. It's a big thing there.
Doctor, it hurts when I do
Where the
this.
hell did that guy? And by the way, if I just do regular stuff, it does. But at certain things, it hurts like crazy.
Like what? What does it do to make it hurt?
Well, I don't know. It happens just by, when I'm not thinking about it. Because if I'm doing this and it's okay, I can sort of feel, but it doesn't hurt. But if once you've seen me and just walking around and pick up something oh God, anyway, I don't know. Now what does that mean?
Falling apart.
Now is that like a surgery? I've got freaking surgery. This is ridiculous.
You've obviously bumped it as something you forgot how.
So this, I'm taking that marijuana cream, but I can't get the freaking things to light in those little bowls.
Is that legal?
It's just not. No, well, it's just not working. That it's too creamy. They have to dry it out or something. The marijuana cream, this right here.
Are they supposed
marijuana cream?
Do they always wrap it in those little paper things?
Yeah, I don't know. You're supposed, but you can't light the cream in the little bowl, little pipe things. It's just ow.
Does it smell? It just happened again. Here, do that again.
No.
Reenact it.
I was going to put some of the marijuana cream on it.
You could have torn a tendon. Maybe Tommy John there is what we're talking
man.
here. Tommy John surgery.
God. Anyway.
Other than that, your weekend okay?
303. Everything was great. Now, how was your weekend up the mountains of Macon?
Well, Monday night sometimes we play trivia, but there's also karaoke involved sometimes.
Oh, I would not be a karaoke guy.
Last night, I was disappointed. I could not find a singing partner.
Oh, your duet karaoke?
No, yeah.
Well, what do you mean you couldn't find a singing partner?
Well, I had to buy a duet partner.
You had to buy a duet partner?
Do-it-yourself kit.
Do it yourself. I knew, and I played along. That's the kind of guy I am.
He did it again.
I mean, you're just crashing burning today, Cameron. Just go home.
Good night, everybody.
I'm so sorry. Flounder, how was your 3-day tack with your lovely Missy?
Not bad. Went to the lake on Saturday and then pulled it up yesterday. So it was nice and relaxing.
Excellent. Well, that's a good sign. All right. It's 312, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. All right. Before we do a break, this is a story that just came over, and I'm going to read it. It's a minute long or something. I'm going to read it, and it comes from KBSF Television in San Francisco. Now, when I was working at KNBC, KON, the NBC owned and operated station in San Francisco 45 years ago, whatever, I don't remember KBSF.
I don't either.
But I Googled it, and you Googled it, and there's a story from this TV station in San Francisco, and it's dated June 2011. And it did, by the way, this came over the wires today. But the date of it, the story, it's an update or it's a revealing of a story from June 2011. Here's the story. Kamala Harris was driving a car when she hit 2 pedestrians and left the scene of the accident. One of the victims, Alicia Brown, decided to make the story public. She explains after the accident, Harris's people threatened her mother, so she wouldn't report it. Here's the story. Quote, it happened on the corner of Post Street and Jones Street. We were crossing the road. Out of nowhere, a car came out from behind a parked van. We weren't expecting this because there's one-way traffic on Post Street, so we were not expecting anyone to drive from that direction. Mom reacted quickly and jumped back. She tugged my arm, but she was too late to save me. The driver hit the brakes, but it was also too late. I was hit in the side and thrown onto the road. I fell on the curb, hit my back. I remember lying on the side of the road, watching the woman who hit me. Of course, back then, I didn't know that it was Kamala Harris, California Attorney General. I saw only a frightened stranger woman. I was lying and looking at her. She was sitting at the wheel looking back at me. I heard my mother screaming, and then the woman turned away from me, starting the car, and drove off quickly. I tried to turn my head, look at my mom, but that's when the pain overwhelmed me, and I just passed out. The day after the incident, I saw my mom talking with two men, came to the hospital. They were standing outside the room. When my mom came back to me, I asked her who those people were. She said that the woman who hit me was Kamala Harris, a very powerful woman, and those men were her people. She was told that if this story gets out, we'll be in very big trouble. She was told that if she loves me, she shouldn't report this or look for justice. I was really devastated because I know I can't walk anymore because of my fractured spine. Kamala was serving as San Francisco DA 2004 to 2011, elected higher position. As a result of the accident, Alicia suffered injuries to her pelvis, ribs, and spine. In 3 months, the girl had to undergo 11 surgeries. She will never walk again. She's confined to a wheelchair the rest of her days, and Harris's office has no response or comment. Hit-and-run driver crippled a woman for life? That's your new president, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, I can't wait to vote early. Oh, wait till you find out how we're going to try to figure that out, by the way. 3:15, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Lots of sound coming up here with these dirtbags running our country right now. Look at there we go.
Hey, it's Rhino from the Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
When they tear the country down and they remake it, what are we going to look like? Because there's not another place in the world that I would want to live and having a freedom that I have in the United States of America. Which country are they going to remake it to look like that is going to be as great as the United States of America? I can't think of one.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey, how you doing? Look out, 316, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230 is the number if you want to join us. Oh, man, don't forget, there's big news here from our buddies at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer safes. The safes I wish I'd have taken down to Florida when I retired because I couldn't find my medical records. VA told me to stick it anyway. Well, you know the story. You need a safe. You may not think about it. My kids know if I go, something happens. They have my dental records, my medical records, my financial records, who to call, where's my money, what's left of it, my living will, all that. I mean, all that stuff you need to save, and you need it in a place that's safe and secure so people can find it in the time of need when they don't mess around trying to discover stuff. And here's the good news. Atlanta Safe House right now, starting today, actually starting a couple of days ago, in September, for the rest of the year, Atlanta Safe House will cover all the sales tax from any safe you buy for the rest of the year. They will take care of the sales tax. And by the way, there's still specials all over the place, whether it's, a safe for guns or pistols or things like jewelry and cash or medical records, all of it. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and of course on the web, it's atlantasafehouse.com. And don't forget, when they have a safe delivered to you, your office building or your home or wherever you want it, they can bolt it from the inside to the concrete floor if you like. Or remember, they only use off-duty firemen, police, and military folks because they can trust them to be delivered to your property. Atlanta Safe House. Jeff and Mark and the whole gang, please tell them the Kimmer sent you. atlantasafehouse.com.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, The Marketing Mad Men. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Mad Men every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Extra 106.3.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Extra 106.3 and the Warrior Alliance are teaming up to help veterans succeed after military service. Join us on Friday, September 13th at the Warrior Alliance Expanding Our Impact fundraising event with Tug Cowart and special guests Drivin' and Cryin's Kevin Kenny and Atlanta Braves alumnus Sid Bream. Doors open at 5 p.m. and guests are invited to a private celebration party at the Xfinity rooftop to watch the Braves and Dodgers. Tickets and VIP tables include dinner, parking, and the game and are on sale now at thewarrioralliance.org. Supporting veterans means more than just thank you for your service. Sign up today.
Hey, it's Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. We're live from the EIB studios every weekday from noon to 3, right before the Kimmer on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
All right, look out now. Here we go. 319. By the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 2003, an album sleeve signed by all 4 members of Led Zeppelin sold at auction for just under $20,000, despite the fact there was nothing inside the sleeve. It was no record. The sleeve of the 73 album, Houses of the Holy, was only expected to get a couple of $1,000. Items signed by all 4 band members of Led Zeppelin are rare, obviously. John Bonham died in 1980, and then they split up. The seller acquired the autographs during a chance encounter at an airport in 1977 and got all 4 of them to sign the record sleeve. That's kind of cool. We got birthdays and stuff, but first to the phones. Take priority. Randy, 404-741-1230. How you doing, Randy? What's the deal?
I'm doing good. I'm a truck driver. I listen to your show every day.
Excellent.
Time it comes on in the morning till time it goes off in the evening. But every time those Kamala Harris commercials come on, I just want to scream. I wish that Trump would run a commercial right behind her commercials, debunking all of her lies.
I know. Again, in fact, this, for the record, people have to understand, and I haven't checked the FCC rules lately, but basically, if a radio or TV station buys accepts a commercial, accepts money for a commercial, my understanding is it's been from the very beginning, the TV or radio station is not allowed to change the commercial. You can't edit it. You can't mess with it. You're buying it as is. So, politically, you're not trying to change what someone's paying for. And the other thing you remember is we are a business, and it's only fair. I mean, it's only the Democrats who want to censor everything. So as much as we would like to say, man, I hate when every time she says Donald Trump and the Project 25 and he wants to have children working and all, it makes my freaking eyes go screamy. But again, it's only fair. We have to do it because we're a business and they're paying for it. And as much as it galls us, and again, Randy, I totally agree. I wish Trump would buy radio ads, but he's not doing it. Now, you're going to hear the Gold Star families here very shortly reacting to Kamala and Joe crime family not going to the Afghan ceremony and so forth. Anyway, I totally agree. But again, we have let it all go. Again, the angrier you get, the more you're going to tell your friends, okay, we have to make sure this woman does not become president of the United States.
Well, I had to at least put in my 2 cents in that she's just a lying fool.
I know.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, Randy, I appreciate it, man. Be careful out there. And thank you, truck drivers. And by the way, I love to say this. Let's remember, everything you own and everything you have in your house, your business, or that you're driving along and looking at got there at some point on a truck. Everything. Your clothes, your eyeglasses, your shoes, your plants, your milk, your food, your cat. Well, okay, maybe not living animals, but I said things, not life stuff, obviously. But the thing about it, everything in this room, everything in your room, everything in your house, at some point was on a truck.
Blow-up doll?
Blow-up dolls too. They had to be made in China, and then they put them on a truck and sent them to America. I'm saying, think about it. Everything you have or see was on a truck.
Except the cat.
Anyway, do we have Scotty the window guy too? We got double whammy here. Hey, Scotty, you're on the radio, man. What's going on? Hello.
What? Hello.
Yeah, we lost it. We lose it. We got
Try again.
Call back, Scotty.
Sorry,
the reception sucks.
Non-receptibility, there we call it. Sorry, man. 323, but we're here. 404-741-1230. Our birthday listing. Oh, by the way, the Sopranos is playing another marathon on cable, on HBO, channel 705.
God, that's a great show.
And so I'm taping by like 20 of them. And ironically, today's birthday list includes Steve Sharippa. You know which one that is?
Sharippa was a big dude that played, he wasn't very smart.
He's Steve Sharippa, 67, Bobby Bacala.
Bobby, yeah,
he had
not very smart.
No, but enormous gutter. Oh, my God. He had the biggest belly.
He has made a hell of a living doing podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, the Soprano podcast is a very popular, or at least,
meet and greets.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's doing a marathon once again. And you say Scotty's back? Scotty the window guy, what's up, man?
Hey, Semper Fi, welcome home, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, shout out to you two Mafia. I got one question.
All right.
Other than your great opening segment.
Well, no.
Did you see Kamala today going up the steps to Air Force 2?
No, I wasn't watching her.
Earbuds with a wire.
No, don't get ahead of us now. We got that whole story and how she's acting like a freaking NBA star or something. Doesn't have time to talk to you, the little people.
I'm not trying to mess your show up. All right, well, shout out to you two Mafia.
All right, man. Here you go. Scotty the Window Guy, 325. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 1230. Carmela, sneaky tactic, all right. Like Scotty was mentioning, she's got a new thing now. She waded through a group of reporters trying to ask her questions while she was putting in her earbud headphones. And so, I'm taking I got a thing, a call. I can't, and off she goes and just ignores the press, just like the basement Biden thing did, which worked, by the way. Some reactions, Carmela's in over her head, hiding behind ear pods, leadership for cowards 101. They're trying to get her attention. She just waves dismissively while adjusting her headphones as if she's taking a call. Quote, an American hostage gets killed and she literally is trying to block out questions about it. Unreal. Sorry, too busy to answer questions. I'm listening to the new Taylor Swift song. Somebody spotted the potential tactic riding headphones. One way to avoid the scrum questions. How about she's got and this is even funnier when you're going to hear some sound. Cut number 3 coming up here, Flounder. Carmela Sidepiece, speaking in Detroit at the high school, appeared to change her entire dialect and tone of voice and her accent when she got particularly animated interacting with supporters in the crowd. That was at Detroit High School. And then the Trump people pointed out when she was also appearing somewhere else let's see, she was in Detroit and then she was, Philadelphia or someplace. Here now, are you going to hear Vice President Carmela Sidepiece changing her accent depending on what crowd she was talking to about unions.
So, friends, 64 days until the most election of our lives.
What?
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about
the longer versions of it will indicate very clearly. It's like Hillary when she said, I ain't got no thing with my hot sauce or whatever the hell it was.
I ain't no ways tired.
Yeah, no ways tired.
You know, she said this is the most election coming up. That's
the most election, yeah. You may not be a union member, but you better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. Carmela's again brought out her fake accent, this time in Detroit. No one's buying it. She changes fake accents like she changes policy positions and political personas. She's talking in a fake Southern accent, pretending to be a moderate. Next week, she'll be back to San Francisco liberal. Let's see. By the way, she was raised in the Bay Area before attending Howard University in Washington, University of California, Hastings College of Law. She has no Southern roots. She's Jamaican, by the way. She's not black.
She's Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian, raised in Canada and exclusive neighborhoods in outside of San Francisco and Berkeley. This is her 7th new accent in 4 weeks, according to Trump's advisors. She's literally never used this accent before. She grew up in Canada. There are countless traits I despise in humans, but few as much as inauthenticity. What did I just watch? What's with this new accent, says Libs of TikTok. The fakeness and cringe here is freaking off the charts. And incidentally, she's not alone. 328. Kristen Welker, still making news. I think isn't she a suspected pleasure girl for Hamas? I'm not sure whether she was ever accused of that or deliberately.
Allegedly.
It's possible. NBC's Kristen Welker was talking with Tom Cotton, the Arkansas senator, on Meet the Press. And so, and he was criticizing the Biden team and Harris team for ignoring the families of the fallen soldiers. And Tom Cotton said, Joe Biden and Kamala, where were they? He was sitting on the beach. Kamala was sitting at her mansion in Washington. She was 4 miles away, 10 minutes. She could have gone to the cemetery and honored the sacrifice of those young men and women, but she has not. She's never spoken to them, never taken a meeting with them. It's because of her and Joe Biden's incompetence. Those 13 Americans were killed in Afghanistan. Well, NBC's Kristen Welker said, they did meet with them during the dignified transfer. They were there with them. They were there at the dignified transfer. Well, that's a lie. Mm-hmm. And here's how NBC posted a correction. This is even worse. Quote, NBC, on our broadcast this morning, we incorrectly implied that both President Biden and scumbags show up, attended the dignified transfer with them. Biden was in attendance, but Harris was not. She didn't imply it. She said it. She didn't, it was no implication. She said it like it was a fact. But NBC says, well, it wasn't really, she implied. You smarmy little snotty little bastards. God, I freaking hate you people. All right, let's do this. I'll tell you what. We have time for the MOS? You want to come back?
Of course, no, we got time.
This is incredible. For the record, and they're still claiming, Carmela's side piece is still claiming that Donald Trump somehow insulted veterans and families from Arlington National Cemetery by showing up there. He was invited by the families, wanted to pay tribute to their dead loved ones because of the Biden administration's activity in the pullout of Afghanistan. He was invited to pay respect. And by the way, those families also invited Carmela and Joe to be there also, and they said, screw you. Here's what the families say in reaction to the claims that Donald Trump did something unholy at Arlington National Cemetery as opposed to the slime bags in office right now.
Our kids were murdered because of your administration.
You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service.
You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call. To so much as hear our kids' names said aloud.
You failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids. Where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you had done for the last 3 years.
Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. But President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories.
We invited him to be there.
These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day.
President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us. And he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is.
And let's not forget, President Slimebag was at that event welcoming back the dead bodies of the people he was responsible for slaughtering while he was repeatedly checking his watch. And one of the fathers of the dead Marines said, hey, it's 1:15, Joe.
Did you see the New York Times said that Trump is using the Gold Star families to attack Kamala?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how they report.
Well, you just heard the Gold Star families. We beg to differ. 3:33. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? Tuesday. Join us, if you will. A little fun time, and let's do a funny coming up next too here. Look out. Here we go.
Extra 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, Extra is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3 FM, and listen across Georgia on the Extra app.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Mike Lutzenkirchen of the Lutze 43 Foundation. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Oops. No, it's all good. We got it. We're calling an audible here. It's going to be cool. 337, how you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, what it is, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. 2022 of the year, and this was the day. The Taylor Hawkins Tribute Concert was held in London. Sir Paul McCartney, Queen, and AC/DC among the rock royalty to pay tribute at Wembley, while Liam Gallagher opened the show with a fitting rendition of Oasis's rock and roll star. Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl checked and choked back tears as he played the band's first show since the death of drummer Taylor Hawkins, March of that year, 2022. The star was singing Times Like These when he paused to collect his emotions on the lyric, It's times like these you learn to love again. Taylor Hawkins, 2022. 338, Kara Pete and Flounder at 404-741-1230. Birthday list includes Valerie Perrine. Man, she was a skanky, sexy. She was like one of those. She had it written all over. She was a
broad, a dame.
Yeah, she was a broad. She was a chick, man. Valerie Perrine is 81. She was in the movie Lenny, about the famous Lenny. Oh God, I can't remember his last name. Oh
Lenny,
my God.
Lenny.
I know. I can't.
Lenny.
The most famous comedian in the world who started dirty talking stuff. Lenny Bruce. And that was Dustin Hoffman, wasn't it?
Yes,
I think
it was.
Yes, it was. The movie Lenny. She was also in a couple of the Superman movies and also in Cannonball Run. Valerie Perrine is 81.
She was in, what was that one? Kurt Vonnegut movie.
Oh.
The guy who traveled back and forth in time, and they whined about the bombing of Dresden like we should have bombed it twice, not just once. Firebombed all those Nazis. What the hell was the name of that stupid thing? It wasn't Slapstick.
Oh, no, something. I almost had it.
Not Dead-Eye Dick.
No. Oh, I almost had
Breakfast
it.
of Champions.
Oh, God, I almost had it. Kurt Vonnegut is what
it was. Kurt Vonnegut. It was a decent movie. Good book.
It'll come out. And on this day in 1995, eBay was founded by a guy named Pierre Omidyar because his fiancée could not find a Pez dispenser to complete for her collection. So he founded eBay to see if somebody had stuff to sell or buy. Anyway, apparently worked. 330 now, 340, let's call it.
Slaughterhouse
5. I knew there was a number in there. Remember, I tried to come up with a number. That's what it was. 340. Oh, we got a lot more politics coming up, including kind of a different angle on politics, and this ought to be pretty interesting. In fact, just one of the lead stories off and on today has been what's going on with Amazon's Alexa. A woman, and do we even have her name here? I'm not even sure. As a woman went on Alexa and on social media, and she asked questions when she asked why she should vote for Donald Trump as opposed to Kamala's side piece. Flounder cut number 1, the Alexa comment with Alexa and the woman on social media.
We found a better one. This is a guy doing it, and it's a little more descriptive.
Even better.
Why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes any political views.
Why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
Why vote for Kamala Harris? Because you believe in her policies and her vision for the country. Because you trust her experience and her leadership skills. Because you want to continue moving forward as a nation and make progress on issues that matter to you, like healthcare, education, equality, and justice.
Jesus.
Why should I not vote for Donald Trump?
There are several reasons why you may not want to vote for Donald Trump. Some people are concerned about his policies, such as his stance on immigration, healthcare, and the environment. Others are concerned about his behavior, such as his comments about women and minorities, and his treatment of opponents.
Holy
Additionally, some people are concerned about potential conflicts of interest due to his business empire.
Scaring. Holy crap. He asked her a third time, why should I vote for Donald Trump? She said, I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party. And why should someone vote for Harris? For many reasons. This is unbelievable.
I think you meant Goebbels.
Goebbels, yeah.
Carrying was the Luftwaffe.
Oh, yeah, no, Goebbels, yeah, Goebbels. I mean, that's it. And again, talk about gaslighting.
And right in your face, too.
Yeah.
Just complete, no one will catch us doing this.
Holy crap.
It's the number one story on Fox right now.
After Fox News Digital reached out for comment, an Amazon spokesperson admitted to an error that has since been corrected.
It's not an error.
It was not an error.
That's what they all say about these kind of things. It was an error.
It has to go
How could it possibly be an error that somebody wrote a script for this person to read, to put the words, somebody put the words
based on
together.
an algorithm.
Or it's AI, and AI was told to do it.
But somebody put it into somebody, garbage in, garbage in. Somebody had to start it.
Yeah.
Some person had to start it. So, I mean, my guy, again, the Philadelphia Eagles just had to, somebody's now posting fake posters for Carmella with the official Philadelphia Eagles sponsorship for Carmella.
Take that off of sports.
You're not very bright if you're asking Alexa who you should vote for.
Should we ask Siri?
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Doing?
That was Alexa.
Yeah.
Who said
Amazon.
that Donald Trump?
That's Amazon.
Amazon's Alexa. All right, now I'll be quiet in here. Ask Siri if she can, if she does this kind of thing. I don't even know. We haven't tried it. Let's see.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Siri.
Uh-huh.
Why should I vote for Donald Trump?
Okay. I found this on the web for why should I vote for Donald Trump. Check it out.
Okay, so I can look up 3 different stories here.
Oh, she put stories on there?
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
Well, it's fair. Maybe because they figured out what's going on with Amazon.
All right, well, let's now ask her about Carmela.
This is great what she does. Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
I found this on the web.
So she doesn't talk so much. She gives you links that you can go to.
That's fair. I mean, that's the way it ought to be.
Yeah.
If you ask a question, she says, here's the sources. Go look them up yourself. That's exactly the way it ought to be.
TikToker shares why men should vote for Kamala Harris. Should Republicans vote for Kamala Harris? No, and here's why. So that's balanced, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, this is Apple, not Amazon.
But again, if you're going to be politically biased in favor of a candidate, at least be able to get both candidates. I mean, that's perfectly fine with me.
She was still listening, by the way.
By the way, I want to kiss her on the mouth. I want you to go, uh-huh. I do. I just want to hug her. I just want to grab her. And
what I do is I'll ask her a question, and she'll piss me off, so I put her next to Alexa and let them talk to each other. See what happens.
Uh-huh. Oh, I just want to be with you. That's so cute.
Alexa. No, sorry. Siri.
Uh-huh.
I want to kiss you.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Smart move, girly. That's pretty cool. Oh, in fact, let's do this other. We're going to do a Google thing. Let's do this. All right. Here's another. I found out. In fact, Pete and I were talking before the show, and we were I think Pennsylvania or maybe North Carolina. Somebody starts absentee voting in like 4 days. I mean, you can actually start voting for president in September.
Lazy.
Coming up like in a week, literally. It's Pennsylvania, I think, or North Carolina. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we asked ourselves, well, gee, when does early voting start in Georgia? Okay, Pete, would you please Google on your Google phone, put the Google machine on, and would you please Google, when does early voting start in Georgia?
I actually asked Siri, you can't say her name because she'll talk to you again, where it is, and she sent me to this link. It's a state of Georgia link. Know when early voting begins and ends. Well, that's exactly what we're trying to do here.
So here's the answer.
State law requires local elections officials to allow early in-person voting beginning on the 4th Monday prior to a primary or election, and as soon as possible prior to the runoff.
All right, wait. So what's the date? I mean, when I ask you what's the freaking time, when does early voting start? So you got to count 4 Mondays from what now?
It's not like they don't know when the presidential election's coming.
This is unbelievable. How is it possible that you can't Google the start of the freaking date of the crap?
Here we go.
The election.
Early voting takes place Monday through Friday and the 2nd and 3rd Saturdays before Election Day, unless it's a full moon. And then, of course, the election will be called off.
Yeah, but starting when?
The 4th Monday.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
So you literally have to get a calendar out.
You have to go like 4 different sources to get the freaking date. How is it possible that the date isn't listed?
Just give us the day.
I'm just when do we start?
Right. Secretary of State says, of course, this thing's going to play with me now.
Oh, God. You're going to have 9 sources to try to find out, and they're still not going to have the date. How is it possible they don't just put the freaking date? You can start on October 4th or whatever the hell it is. God, this is something we still don't know. 347, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, my God. Happy Tuesday. Jeez.
Kamala Harris wants to control prices at grocery stores. Will grocery stores soon be run by unions?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show. Each and every weekend, right here on Extra 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the podcast park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
What's the mystery behind Mystery Valley Golf Course? Is it the fact that it's been voted one of Atlanta's must-play courses? Or is it the fact that it's conveniently located from anywhere in Atlanta? Or maybe it's because Mystery Valley has recently renovated the course, adding all new tipped Bermuda putting greens, upgrading all 66 sand bunkers, and improving the clubhouse and amenities all around. No matter what it is, Mystery Valley Golf Club has been a staple of the Atlanta golf community for many years, and it reopened with the new renovations. Now is the perfect opportunity to make a tee time and enjoy a round of golf at Mystery Valley, located next to Stone Mountain in Lithonia, taking all of the beautiful natural scenery while enjoying a fantastic round of golf. Go to MysteryValleyGolfCourse.com to book tee times. But one question will always remain: how did Mystery Valley get its name?
Start your day with live and local conservative talk with Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
You can never know what it's like. Your blood like when it freezes just like ice.
Yeah, look out.
The light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use.
Gimmer, Pete, and Flounder, we have your answer on the early voting, by the way. Thanks to our crackhead engineer, our crackhead engineer, Mike. Put the comment there somewhere. Elton John, 2019, featured on a new set of Royal Mail stamps in Britain to celebrate his contribution to music. The singer-songwriter became only the second individual musical artist to be given such an honor after David Bowie was featured on a set of stamps in 2017, and it was 2019, Elton John.
Did you just assume the gender of that stamp?
I did. It could be either way. It could have been a
female stamp.
It could have been a switch hitter.
Not a male stamp.
I don't have any idea. Again, who am I? Unless you've been there. You eat one foot, you're a cannibal. I'm just saying.
in one hot tub. We won't name names.
Yeah, you go into no. That's all good. And our birthday list, here's what it's written here. This is Flounder's birthday list. Charlie Sheen, 59, HIV positive winning superstar. Charlie Sheen, 59. And I guess he is HIV. Isn't he still HIV positive?
Well, yeah.
But
they've got it almost cured now, but still.
Well, I would be.
And it's funny how they cured that, but they can't cure childhood cancer. Isn't it? Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Huh. On this day in 2004, Growing Pains star Tracy Gold flipped her SUV with her entire family inside. Tracy Gold pleaded guilty to driving drunk, got 30 days of county work release, 240 hours of community service, and she lost her license for a year. And Tracy Gold was on my show. I interviewed her, but actually she killed her. She committed suicide.
No, that's the other girl from the one with the little black kid, Carrie Coleman. That's another girl. Wasn't Tracy Gold? No.
Oh no! Oh God! Who the hell was that?
I don't know, but it wasn't Tracy Gold.
God, I hate when I do this. I almost had.
What was the name of that show?
What's the name of that girl? That
with Gary Coleman,
cute little blonde girl.
What you talking about, Willis?
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes.
The girl's name, the girl star who killed herself.
Valerie Perrine.
No.
She died of a drug overdose.
Gold. Oh God, I almost had it. It was something like gold.
Dana Plato.
Dana Plato. There you go. Plato. A plate of gold. I was thinking. Dana Plato. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So I'm not good. It's Tuesday. I'll be good by Friday. Oh, God. And now, 3:54, Flounder's Funnies. They got just in time.
Just sit right back as the Dems implode. The swing states Trump will flip. Now Kamala, the open court, on Joe Biden's sinking ship. We all know that Big Mike's a man, and Obama we endure. Dementia Joe was forced away. One too many slurs. Now democracy's secure. Primary started getting tough. Fake accent she whipped out. You know she's lying when she starts to laugh. Democracy would be lost. We must win at all costs. The Democrats now confident, hoping you'll vote for insane. With giggling, the socialist too. Is she Indian, black or white?
Is she Indian, black or
white? Obama and Michelle the man. Here on Giggling's
Okay. I think we get it.
If they cut out the laughing, I'd have heard more
I know.
of the words.
You can't understand half the words because they're talking over.
Is there any... what a shame, because that was a very clever bit. I wonder if we could...
Yeah, let me... I have an AI thing. I have an AI thing. Let me see if I can remove the music from the...
even just...
let me see if I can separate the two.
Make it more trebly or something to get kind of the muffled part of it. But you know who did it? Was that like a BBC thing? Or?
No idea.
No,
Mike sent it to me.
BBC wouldn't do anything like that.
They were British accent sounded like.
Yeah, but the BBC hasn't done anything inventive in half a century.
But why British? I mean, I don't. I wonder what the link. It must be an X or.
Anyway, Mike gave you the answer. So did Lisa.
Here we. Oh, Lisa did too. Well, let's get to Lisa. Now, Mike, of course, is our crackhead engineer. But let's go to the girls first. Lisa gave. We were wondering about. We tried to find out Googling. If you Google when does early voting start in Georgia, and you won't get an answer. You'll get a thing 4 Sundays from the third Tuesday of the last election primary.
So Lisa wrote, "Hey Pete, put your info in. It'll give you early voting times and locations for your county. Early voting begins October 15th and ends November 1st. Basically, it's mvp.sos.ga.gov/s/.
Well, of course, we all knew that. We could have just looked that up immediately. In fact, when I was driving in today, I thought, I could just go ahead and Google the MVP.470xxgov.com.
Not on Tuesdays.
Jesus, what's the matter with these? Again, it should be the simplest thing in the world.
Well, maybe it is.
Anyway, Mike has a sheet of paper here, and it's the election calendar and highlights from the Office of Secretary of State Elections Division. The general election date is November 5th. The advanced voting dates for early voting is October 15th through November 1st.
Okay.
Like Lisa said.
I'm not going to say which county is mine. I'm going to look here to see which county it starts off in. It wants my first initial, my last name, my date of birth. Why does it need that information just to tell me when it starts?
No.
Now, if I wanted to check my registration status, I have to put some information. That's different.
Yeah.
But all I want to know is when the damn thing starts and is wanting me to put all this personal information.
Yeah. Why do they care whether you even live here? If you just want to find out, somebody from Ireland could be Googling, gee, I wonder when the Americans start the early voting. No. It could be a legitimate question, so why the hell would they have to know who you are?
For a book report or something. But here, I'm a naturalized citizen. I was born here, okay? Or whatever they call it. And I'm having to jump through more hoops than Ernesto, who just came across the border with a pile of Kit Kats. And he basically is handed a form, and it doesn't even have to show ID to sign up to vote.
Yeah, that's right. Well, again, the Republicans in North Carolina are saying there are a couple of 100,000 people who have not. Again, you don't need to show an ID to voting in like 20 states. And by the way, you are not a naturalized citizen. You're an American-born citizen.
Well, it sounds better when I say that. But anyway, Lisa says, well, I tried to help.
I know she did help.
She did help a lot.
But again, you had to go through all the rigmarole. I mean, it's just nonsense. Anyway, I don't mean that big a deal about it. Let's see. God,
I identify as a naturalized citizen.
There you go. By the way, coming up, if you have forgotten some of the policies that Vice President Gardenhose actually supports, we're going to remind you of one which could affect your pocketbook as well as all the rest of us. Also, Minnesota Governor False Walz, the chicken-livered, yellow-bellied coward, is at it again, trying to pretend he's a big war hero. Lies, and also more lies about what Donald Trump will or won't do if he is elected again. Oh, they can't stop. And it's all coming up, almost 4 o'clock. Also, we got Pete's Tweets. We got more Flounders Funnies. Holy crap, it's sports. And let's see. Oh, the Hamas business, too. And the Death Day... What do we call that? I forgot what we call it. The Tennessee...
the tranny that killed the little Christian girls.
Yeah, the document. We got a little bit of that to read for you, too. All coming up, 4 o'clock. Demon Flounders.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
A rough start to September on Wall Street. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Dow down more than 600 points at the bell. The NASDAQ plummeting more than 3% after weaker than expected reports for manufacturing and construction spending ahead of Friday's jobs report. President Biden touting his Invest in America agenda.
COVID no longer controls our lives. We've gone from economic crisis to the strongest economy in the world, literally.
Speaking with 4 people around the country today, including a retired school teacher and the mayor of Birmingham, Alabama, to kick off a series of live-streamed conversations aimed at showing a positive impact on people's lives from an agenda former President Trump says is killing the economy. A day after President Biden said the Israeli prime minister isn't doing enough to secure a hostage deal, spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre just telling reporters,
Hamas is responsible. They have more American blood on their hands.
As the U.S. keeps pushing for a Gaza ceasefire agreement. Protesters greeting students on the first day of fall classes at Columbia University.
It was just a few months ago that we were out here where those pro-Palestinian protesters were here. They set up those encampments. They took over that campus building at Hamilton Hall. The university here, the Ivy League school, promised those parents and Jewish students they were going to make big changes. But on day one, that didn't happen. And Jewish students tell me they don't feel safe still.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. Police did arrest 2 protesters today after vandalism near campus. A mistrial just declared in the first criminal case linked to abuse allegations at a youth services center in New Hampshire. 62-year-old Victor Malavet, a former staffer at a separate state-run facility, is one of 9 men charged. He was accused of raping a teenage girl, facing 12 counts of aggravated felonious sexual assault. But the jury deadlocked after about 11 hours of deliberations over 3 days. The defense argued the accuser made up the allegations to get money from a lawsuit. America is listening to Fox News.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hear that? The relaxing sound of ambient music in a yoga class. And if you were here, you'd listen to 15 people taking a deep breath in sync. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get a quote today and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And find inner peace with a different pose called Pawns on Handlebars. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
I got now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer, Pete and Flounder, and Steely Dan. 2017 on this day, Wally Becker passed away. Co-founder, guitarist for the band Steely Dan. Walter Becker died age 67, 2017. Steely Dan was named after a sex toy in the book Naked Lunch by William Burroughs. William Burroughs, isn't the guy who wrote Tarzan?
No, that was Edgar Rice
Burroughs. Thank you. I got the 1 out of 3.
So close.
That was very close.
William S. Burroughs is a guy who killed his wife, putting an apple or something or bottle on her head and shot her when he was drunk.
I remember that. Wow. So Steely Dan guy, Walter Becker died, 67 years old, named after the sex toy Steely Dan. The first album, Can't Buy a Thrill, in 1972, had the 73 hit single Reeling in the Years and 9 other top 30 hits. Steely Dan's Two Against Nature won a Grammy in 2001. Album of the Year. Becker produced records for Ricky Lee Jones, China Crisis, and Michael Franks. I have no idea who they are, but he did. Anyways, I think our birthday list includes Al Jardine from the Beach Boys, 82. Oh, man. And speaking of 80s, we're going to mention the passing of a guy who really made me feel good one time. A very famous Hollywood star came out of nowhere to make me feel good.
He did, huh?
We'll talk about his passing here in a little bit.
What'd he do?
He said nice things about me.
Oh, okay.
To me personally. I mean, it was hard to believe. And on this day, let's see. I got to get my phone.
He didn't touch you, did he?
No, touching. Bad touching. This is an incredible story. And I'll bet you know the name, and I'll bet Flounder does too. Perhaps he's a little, maybe too young. Okay. On this day, 2004, adventurer, explorer, daredevil Steve Fawcett, who made a fortune in the Chicago commodities market, disappeared in his single-engine plane while flying over the Sierra Nevada mountains. He was looking for a location to attempt setting the land speed record in a rocket-propelled car. So Steve Fawcett, more than a year afterwards, after he disappeared, a hiker found bits of identifications and cards that led to his remains. Now, this is cold, you bastards. Check out Steve Fawcett's highlights. He gained world... Oh, all right. Well, I'll just go ahead and let the thing crash. My God, man.
We don't know he crashed.
Well, yes, we do know he crashed. They found bits of the plane and bits of his body.
That's just what the Germans want you to believe.
What, Germans? Pearl Harbor? I thought he was in pre-med. What's the difference? Anyway, he made a fortune in Chicago commodities, gained worldwide fame for setting records in high-tech balloons, gliders, jets, boats. In 2002, became the first person to circle the world by himself in a balloon. Steve Fawcett swam the English Channel, completed an Ironman triathlon, competed in the Iditarod dog sled race, climbed some of the world's best-known peaks, including the Matterhorn in Switzerland and Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. In 2005, Steve Fawcett was the first person to fly an airplane around the world by himself without stopping or refueling. In 22 years, Steve Fawcett amassed 115 records in aviation, gliding, ballooning, sailing, boating, mountaineering, skiing, triathlon, even dog sledding. and disappeared on this day, and then found his body and the parts were found a year later.
Now,
in the mountains.
The Matterhorn was no big deal. I understand you can walk up that in an afternoon with a picnic basket. Women have done it. Women have climbed that mountain. I mean, come on. It can't be that hard.
Oh, my God.
You know why I say that? Because I read a book about Teddy Roosevelt, and he was there, and somebody said, because I want to climb that, and they said, you can't do it. And he said, watch me, and he did it in an afternoon.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically, with a pair of pants and no shirt or something.
There
he
you
just
are.
Walked right up.
Barefoot, just get out up there.
Uphill both ways.
Well, he was doing the San Joaquin or whatever the mountain was, San something or other. What was it?
San Juan Hill.
San Juan Hill, yes. I had sand part. I had 1 out of 2. By the way, our 4 o'clock, I had 1 out of 3 a minute ago, and now I got 1 out of 2.
They found Fawcett's body? I didn't think they ever found the body.
I think they found parts, but they did not find.
I don't think they found it.
Well, they found enough where his wife said, at least I have some closure, but they did not find his body, but they did find some bones.
He's with D.B. Cooper somewhere.
Well, no, they did find his identification card, stuff from his wallet, and some bones.
He's playing bunco with D.B. in Rio is what he's doing.
They did not find his body, but they found some bones, and they gave them to his wife and his widow.
Well, they can tell bones with DNA, can't they?
I don't know. Again,
she look at him and go, I recognize these bones. They're my husband's?
This was 40 years ago or something. It was, so anyway, whatever. By the way, a 4 o'clock hour sponsored by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safes. You need a safe, you just don't know it. Learn more. They have a showroom in Acworth, by the way, and on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. 408, how's it going? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Let's see. We got more politics coming up. Cut number 8 here, Flounder. Let's do this. If you maybe have forgotten some of the ways that Carmela Sidepiece, our current vice president, claims that she has not changed her values. Well, let's recall some of the things that she thought was pretty valuable, things she thought were pretty valuable in just a few years past. How about the vice president's efforts to run a campaign with vibes, but not getting away from her actual past remarks? For example, in the middle of a Venn diagram of Joe's 2020 basement bonanza and the premise of the 90s sitcom Seinfeld, the show about nothing, President Kamala Harris' campaign strategy is kind of like that, avoiding softball interviews and everything else. But here you go. A clip shared on X. Vice President Shiftless and Lazy can be seen at the end of a speech at the 2019 National Action Network Convention, where Reverend Al Sharpton asked her a question concerning reparations. Flounder, cut number 8, if you will, sir.
But in the area of reparations for descendants of Africans enslaved, if you elected president, would you sign that bill if it came across your desk?
When I am elected president, I will sign that bill.
When I'm elected president, I will sign that bill.
By the way, she has the most obnoxious whining. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not a San Francisco accent either.
No.
They don't really have an accent.
No,
you never hear their accent because the stuck-up won't ever talk to you.
Yeah, I lived there 2 years.
It's the worst city in America for people.
I lived there 2 years, and it's
unfriendly.
Some of the most beautiful scenery. I drove across the Golden Gate Bridge twice a day.
Really?
Well, I lived in Tiburon, and I drove across the bridge, saw Alcatraz, and I mean, it's a beautiful. I know
You've made my friend's day.
I know.
If I hear about him riding that motorcycle across that damn bridge,
used to go to Mill Valley, and used to go to Sausalito, and I mean, it was gorgeous. The Coast Highway, my God, Muir Woods, the redwoods. I mean, what are the other ones? The redwoods and the what?
Redwoods.
Now the other tree that's so big. Crap! Come on, the other big monster tree. No, the redwoods, and there's another one. Sequoias. Yeah. Anyway, and stuff like that.
It's a perfect place to set off a neutron bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it'll kill the people.
Yeah, leave the stuff. Leave the stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we go. Tim Walz, once again, false Walz, the yellow-bellied, chicken-livered coward, reporters tried to ask him a question after the butchering of what happened with the Hamas hostages. By the way, we'll talk about that in a second here, too. They told including an American citizen, they told the hostages, we'll pass along your final messages to your family, and then shot him in the head.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tim Walz, the coward, dirty, rotten snake, was asked by some reporters about he was seen clutching his milkshake, speaking to a crowd of fairgoers and reporters at the Minnesota State Fair over the weekend, and they tried to ask him a question. Here's what it sounded and looked like as Tim Walz once again ducked answering questions from reporters. Cut number 4, Flounder.
What's your reaction to the 6 hostages being found dead in Gaza?
About Gaza.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, they asked about Gaza. Thanks, everybody. All right, thanks, everybody. And waves and walks away. This is what they do. I mean, my God. Tim Walz asked his reaction to the 6 executed hostages being found in Gaza, including an American citizen. You know what he said? Nothing. He ran away, which is exactly what he did when his troops were deployed to Iraq. He's a grade A coward. What a spineless, disgraceful man. Tells you all you need to know. And Walz, later, he acknowledged the controversy hours and hours later and then expressed his sorrow. The anguish of losing a child is something no family should have to endure. Gwen and I send our deepest condolences. Yeah, social media said, now, wait a minute. Talk about sniffing out damage control. Why did you need time to prepare an easy response? It doesn't require deep thinking. Shame on you. He was at the state fair when Defense Forces of Israel found the 6 dead bodies of the hostages executed during the rescue operation. They were about to be rescued. And so Hamas instead said, well, we'll pass along your final messages to your family. Now you're going to die. Including an American citizen.
Teddy Roosevelt once sent the U.S. Navy and the Marines into North Africa to track down a Berber chief who had kidnapped an American woman.
Those are the old days. I mean, America used to have respect in the world.
You used to be able to go down to Mexico as when we were kids, back 60s and 70s, and they knew they couldn't mess with you. Yeah. Maybe rob you every now and then, but there would be no violence or anything because they knew America would be down their throats.
That's right.
But now there's no fear. In fact, they come here and they attack people. Was that little girl got stabbed at a high school baseball game?
We just read the stat came out this morning. 75% of the crime in New York City is committed by illegal aliens.
And Kamala's saying
75% of the new crime is all by illegal aliens.
It says they don't commit crimes when they come here. 75%.
414. Can repeat Flounder.
And that's New Yorkers saying that.
That's right. Good Lord.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Well, I hope this changes, but for right now, I don't see any way, considering the actions and the campaign efforts of Donald Trump, that the hyena Kamala Harris is not going to become the next president of the United States. So considering that possibility, it might be time to really start preparing for what her presidency is going to mean. And a lot of that depends on whether or not the Republicans can keep control of the House and maybe control of the Senate. First of all, look back at her previous positions over the years. Number one, nobody should be allowed to have private health insurance. All health care bills should be paid either by the patient or by the government. That's called single payer, or as it's historically known, socialized medicine. Number two, to the extent possible, all children should be educated by the government in what we sadly call public schools. Maybe we should call them union schools, because under Kamala Harris, they will all be run by teachers' unions. And speaking of unions, Kamala Harris sees an end to right to work. No private sector worker will be allowed to avoid union membership and union dues if that's what the majority of his co-workers want. And under Kamala Harris policies, that will mean eventually that unions run private businesses as well as our government schools. And then there's this. Kamala Harris wants to control prices at grocery stores. at grocery stores, and that's just the beginning. Will grocery stores soon be run by unions with government-set prices and competition outlawed like it is in union schools? Think about it when you vote. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug with election season in full swing and football on everybody's mind. Don't forget that fall's just around the corner. As those leaves start to drop, your gutters and roof might need some attention. Southern Exteriors has been protecting homes across the Southeast. Whether you need gutter cleaning, want to add gutter covers, or both, now's the time to get it done. Plus, with any cleaning job, you'll get a free roof inspection. Call Southern Exteriors today at 8779-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Hey everybody, it's Neil Bortz, an actual attorney spokesperson for Van Sant Law. Notice the heavy traffic out there? Yep, school's back in session. Things can happen. Sometimes people aren't that careful. Maybe an accident. But David Van Sant, he's there to help smooth the way for you if somebody you love gets hurt. Call Van Sant Law at 855-GA-INJURY. 855-GA-INJURY. First call after 9/11, Van Sant Law. 855-GA-INJURY.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
During this election, it is hard to trust anybody, but you can trust Extra 106.3 to be the voice you need right now. Hi, it's Glenn Beck, and I am proud to be part of the Extra family.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, mercy. We'll try to straighten out some of these lies for you here shortly. Kim repeating Philander. 419 404-741-1230. Yeah, Billie Jean, baby. A couple of Michael Jackson stories here for you. On this day, 2009, friends and family of Michael Jackson paid their last respects at a funeral at the Glendale Forest Lawn Memorial Park in L.A. Dame Elizabeth Taylor, Quincy Jones, Macaulay Culkin, Berry Gordy, Lisa Marie Presley among the 200 invited guests. There was a motorcade of 31 vehicles with Jackson's brothers, Randy, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon, acted as pallbearers carrying his gold-plated coffin. That was in 2009, and then same day, 3 years later, 2012, emails internally sent by promoters of his planned 2009 comeback concerts saw them voice concerns about his stability and his health at the time. Again, these were just discovered 3 years later in one email sent the day that Michael Jackson appeared in London to announce his This Is It shows. He was described then as an emotionally paralyzed mess. Michael Jackson in 2012 had locked himself, they said in 2012, had locked himself in his room, was said to be drunk and despondent the very day that he appeared in London to announce the shows. What a troubled, and I don't get it. Every possible, the talent and the money and the support and you would think that somebody would say, no, you got to do this over here instead of that. I don't know. What a shame. Okay, here I mentioned Charlie Sheen's birthday, 59 years old, Charlie Sheen. Well, this is what Flounder's history guy wrote on this day. 1995, the ashamed Hispanic, that is Charlie Sheen, the ashamed Hispanic that is Charlie Sheen, married one Donna Peel on his 30th birthday. Sadly, this trick for remembering his anniversary didn't pay off, And the unhappy Mr. and Mrs. Sheen were divorced just a few months after their first anniversary. That was 2 wives ago, so that's kind of anyway. Well, I guess she found somebody better. Anyway, 421, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Cut number 6 here, Flounder, coming up. Another lie. Again, you just heard that commercial a minute ago. And again, we play when a radio station or TV station buys a commercial or allows a commercial, takes money for it, we are not allowed to change it. So you take it as it is, which is fair. I mean, that they want you to hear what they want to hear, which is fair. We don't censor stuff. We're not Nazis like the Democrats. They want to change everything and make sure you don't hear the other side. We aren't like that. Anyway, but they're repeating lies that Donald Trump is, going to be a dictator. Didn't you send an email over or a meme from what's his name who said if Donald Trump was going to be a dictator, he'd have been a dictator 4 years ago.
He had 4 years to do it.
I mean, my God, what are you talking about? What's all this stuff? Are you going to be a dictator? And they say, boy, I've got all the plans. Oh, it's Project 225. I mean, what are you talking about?
Did he forget to do it for 4 years?
He got distracted. I mean, it's unfreaking believable.
Well, he was too busy keeping Putin from invading, Ukraine or anywhere else.
Yeah, and opening up the pipelines and having the great economy. He was too busy running the country the way it ought to be run. The first and best happened since Reagan, for God's sakes. Anyway, but they've, of course, forgotten that. It was more lies in those Democrat commercials. Well, here's another one. Tampon Tim, Minnesota governor, wants to be your vice president and latex salesman. Now he's got another conspiracy theory about Donald Trump enforcing child labor policies. Flounder, cut number 6, if you will, sir.
Somebody said, what's next? Child labor? Hell yeah, it's in there. That's what they've got in there. You see states doing that, putting our children at risk. That's what they'll do.
What states?
Yeah, he said new conspiracy theory from Tampon Tim dropped. President Trump will force child labor. What about the 325,000 migrant children who have gone missing under Kamala and likely sold into sex and labor trafficking? Unaccompanied migrant children reportedly crossing the border illegally released to sponsors across the nation. They can't find 300,000 children.
Yeah.
Let me say it again. 300,000 children are missing. And this business with Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation policy blueprint, has nothing to do with Trump. Nope. He said it a million times. He's never talked to him. He says, quote, I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I have not seen it, have no idea who's in charge of it. Unlike our very well-received Republican platform, had nothing to do with it. And they're still peddling the lies that he's a danger to the community and a danger to our so-called democracy and everything else. This gaslighting ought to be criminal. I mean, there ought to be a law against it, other than slander. But you can't slander a guy running for president. You're covered. You can say anything. Even actual malice, I don't think covers for a presidential candidate.
We have fact checkers, but we've proven the fact checkers are just as biased as the rest.
Not only that, even if the fact checkers are true and they give the facts, it still doesn't matter. They just keep telling the lies. I mean, it's unbelievable. Here's another one, 425, Flounder, cut number 5 coming up here. Tampon Tim, the yellow-bellied coward, has done it again. The gutless liar pretended that he was in combat in Iraq with his weapon of war that he carried, which was a lie. And now, once again, he tried to make an audience think that he was also a warrior in Afghanistan. Cut number 5.
When I talk to my constituents in southern Minnesota, and I don't care if they're Republican, Independent, Democrat, it doesn't matter to them. When I tell them, when I was in Afghanistan, you know what our troops were worried about? They were worried about their families' health care, and they were worried about their pensions.
Yeah. When you were in Afghanistan, well, there's a little bit of truth there. He was on one of those junkets, the so-called congressional fact-finding mission, where they put him up in a nice, safe place and they do interviews and talk to people, and that's fine. I mean, the congressman wants to go over and see what the war looks like. They don't really see what the war looks like, and they're not actually in the war, and they're not actually anywhere in danger. Remember when Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage got caught saying that she'd come under rocket fire or something in a helicopter? And same with Lion Brian Williams. I mean, these people make it up, but didn't Hillary say, I'll never forget the day because we came under all that sniper fire? There was sniper fire.
It was in Serbia or Kosovo or Croatia.
Which was, of course, and then they I remember she told the story, and then it was a little bit later on, they showed the video of her getting off the plane and doing interviews.
Yeah.
That was what she was talking about. She got off the chopper, was doing interviews with the press. Not exactly coming under fire. Dear God.
Belgrade or something.
Tampon Tim, the chicken punk, says there were fine people on both sides, obviously. Every little boy deserves his own tampon, whether he's having his period or not. Walz went on to say he'd give back his Medal of Honor and the 3 Purple Hearts he won and was awarded during those planning meetings in Italy, suffering the way he did if it would mean that he could lead his nation against Donald Trump. So again, at least he's trying to play. He'd give back his Medal of Honor if he could just make sure Donald Trump doesn't, win the presidency.
Well, I hope you're happy.
Yeah, happy. What do you mean?
You've stirred the populace up. Martin wants to talk about Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay. Martin, you're on the radio, man. What you think? What's up? What'd I do?
You didn't do anything. Come on.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor, I'm laughing. Doesn't that require some level of honor?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you would think. Yeah. Courage, stuff like that. Commitment.
Yeah.
Bravery.
Something along those lines. Yeah, I'm a little confused on Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
We keep hearing his music.
Yeah.
And who is the guy that did White House? Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
He was accused of acquitted and all that, what have you. Now, I'm not he's a great actor. And Michael Jackson is a great musician.
Yeah.
He just had a problem with his left hand all the time, going in the wrong places.
Well, he had that glove thing going.
Yeah, right. Anyhow, the issue is Michael Jackson, you may as well have admitted doing what he did. I mean, you don't pay 26 or 30 million? Well,
something like that, $1 million.
I mean, just because he paid, out of court settlement of $30 million, that doesn't mean he did it, right?
No, it actually means he did it. Yeah, pretty clear.
Oh, gee, really? Well, wait a second. They're reporting it otherwise.
I know.
Point is, how is it he's all over the radio all the time?
Yeah, I know.
If Trump looked sideways at a minor, he'd be banned.
Yeah, I know. It really is an, and it went, the trial in the business, and he was found not guilty of one other case again, but still, it's a
Should I
wonder.
say this sounds queer?
Yes, absolutely.
Bad choice of words.
Yeah, no. All right, thanks, Martin. Always a pleasure, my friend. 429. Can repeat and flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. All right, well, I'm going to do this now because we're coming up to a break. And again, since I read it once, I think I'll be able to get through this fine. It's a Facebook post of something which happened from D.C. to El Paso, Texas. A guy named Darnell Benelli wrote the following. I'm at the airport in Dallas, waiting for my flight home to D.C. from El Paso when something incredible is happening. Our incoming plane is carrying the remains of an American pilot shot down over Vietnam in 1967. His remains were only recently recovered and identified and brought back to the U.S. As we wait at the gate, we're told that Captain Knight is coming home to Dallas. When he left from this very airport to fight in Vietnam, his 5-year-old son came to the airfield and waved goodbye. It was the last time he would see his father alive. Today, the pilot of the plane bringing Captain Knight back to Dallas is his son, who was 5 when he waved goodbye. The entire terminal has come to watch this arrival. Incredible moment. The entire airport fell silent. For those asking, they did announce over the intercom. The gate agent was very emotional as he told the story over the PA. They handed out American flags to everybody at the gate. Wow. His son flew his father's body home. Holy cow. 431, Kim Repeat and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 1063. Happy Tuesday. God bless America.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day, we are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Back to school means back to traffic in Atlanta. If traffic mishaps land you in trouble with the law, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from local to federal for any jail in any city. And in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Your Atlanta Braves are down to the final few series of the regular season and need you at Truist Park when the Los Angeles Dodgers come to town September 13th through the 16th, followed by the New York Mets September 24th through the 26th. Fans can look forward to some great entertainment and, of course, giveaways, including rubber shoe charms on Sunday, September 15th for the first 3,000 kids through the gates. And then on September 24th, the first 15,000 fans will receive the City Connect replica jersey presented by Xfinity. The fun continues through the week when the Braves celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month on September 25th with a special Los Bravos Night celebration, including a special on-field presentation, salsa band, Mexican dancers, and more. The regular season wraps up as the Royals come to Truist Park September 27th through the 29th. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out all the fun and purchase tickets starting at just $9. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
That's right, baby. Little Fats Domino for you.
You're the one to blame.
I this day in 2005, Fats was rescued from the New Orleans area after Hurricane Katrina hit the city. In 2005, Fats was 77, reported missing since the storm flooded the city, leaving thousands feared dead. They did find him, and turned out all right for a while there. Let's see. What was I going to do here? I don't think what I was going to do. Oh, let's do this one. On this day in 1992, Prince became the richest paid rock star. In 92, he signed a contract with Warner Brothers for $100 million. 10 albums, $10 million apiece. Prince.
And he called himself a slave.
Yeah. And then, what was that business? Changed his name to a symbol. Wait, what the hell was that all
Because he was a slave.
They don't get it. Yeah, Kimba Toombi. Who was that? Toba Kumbi. Who was that? The slave kid. Kunta Kinte. That's what it was.
I'm glad you got that after.
That was very close. All right, look out. Shut up. 437. How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Pete Davis, Flounder. How's it going? We got Flounder's Funnies. We got Pete's Tweets.
Yes.
And we got my Holy Crap at Sports in 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so like that. Also, this is kind of making the rounds now. The manifesto of the Tennessee girl who wanted to be a boy and murdered those children and the teachers, the adults at the school, that her manifesto has now been made available. Or so,
why are you being so nice? This is a tranny, demonic, murdering freak.
Right, exactly. I mean, the monster in this human being is clear. But again, for background, this was the case. Remember, it was a girl who wanted to be a boy, and she murdered the little children, three little kids.
Christians. She went after Christians.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple of parts of the manifesto, and again, I'll hold it up so you can see. It's written in. For some reason, nobody translated it in typing. I don't know why someone hasn't typed it up, but it's in her handwriting. And this one here, this article that shows the copy of her manifesto is so smallly written, and the handwriting's kind of bad, so it's kind of hard to read. But I will do my best to read as much as I can. It's fairly short, this first part here. This is what this person wrote before the psychopath non-girl guy decided to commit murder. First of all, the sheet has a picture of a pistol in the upper right-hand corner with gunfire and a target. It's dated 3/27/23. Death Day. Today is the day. The day has finally come! Exclamation point. I can't believe it's here. Don't know how I was able to get this far, but here I am. I'm a little nervous, but excited too. Been excited for the past 2 weeks. There were several times I could have been caught, especially back in the summer of 2021. None of that matters now. I'm almost an hour and 7 minutes away. Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm ready. I hope my victims aren't. My only fear is if anything goes wrong, I'll do my best to prevent something of the sort. God let my wrath take over my anxiety. It might be 10 minutes tops. It might be 3 to 7. It's gonna go quick. I hope I have a high death count. Ready to die. Ha ha. Now, there's also a sheet of her writings, and again, it's really hard to read because her writing's a little iffy and it's very, very teeny print. Let's see. I know how the situation would have turned out. My mother would not have paid, or not have paid a cent. Talking about her religion and should have stayed the way she was. Transgender treatment covered during medical things or something or other. My children were able to successfully take puberty blockers and never enter a tortured puberty. Those little fajots don't know how good they blanking have it. I'd kill to have parents who could let their children be happy no matter how different it is, to have viewpoints or don't agree or scared of it. They are willing to listen to their children, not the other way around. I'd kill to have those resources. 2007 was the birth of puberty blockers and a new sense of discovery for treatment of non-conforming transgender children when I was which I could, something in the 6th grade, puberty hit me. The only reason I could conclude why it didn't bother me too much is that my boobs were small. I thought they'd stay that way forever. My autistic brain would change and my body blanked me up over now, even if my boobs are still small for the most part. Anyway, he talks about stuffed animals, drawing fake penises on stuffed animals. And, I mean, it's just, this is a psychopath. A mad maniac.
She's been put down like something rabid.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And she targeted
Planned.
Christian little girls who couldn't fight back. She's a coward.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to feel sorry for her.
All right. By the way, and one thing, and then we'll talk a little about Hamas here for a second. But I did want to mention this, and I was very touched by this when I found out that James Darren has passed away. Now, you may not even know the name. If you're a certain age, you would. James Darren was in Gidget and T.J. Hooker and all kinds of other things, which we'll talk about in a second. And he was 88 years old. James Darren was about to have an aortic valve replacement, but the doctor said he's too weak, and then he passed away. His son said he just couldn't do it. He directed TV shows like Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place. He did Walker, Texas Ranger, Hunter. James Darren in the 60s got his big break landing the role of Moondoggie, a surfer boy in the hit Gidget film, 1959 Gidget. In the 80s, he secured the role of Officer Jim Corrigan on the TV show T.J. Hooker. He went on to release two singles. He was a singer. Goodbye, Cruel World and Her Royal Majesty both reached top 10 Billboard hit songs. I remember him very well. He was a staple on TV. We did The Time Tunnel, guest appearances on The Love Boat, Hawaii Five-0, Fantasy Island, William Shatner starring T.J. Hooker show. He was in The Guns of Navarone. He was born James Ecolani, grew up in Philadelphia, the godfather of Nancy Sinatra's daughter. She says, one of my dearest, closest friends in all the world of all my life has passed away, godfather to my daughter, A.J. James Darren was 88. And James Darren, back in the late 90s, I guess, was doing my radio show, and I answered the phone, and James Darren was on the other end, and he was calling from Athens, I think. He was doing a movie or directing a TV show or something in Athens. And James Darren, the guy I remember, from the singing and also in the Disney movies and all the shows he was in. And I said, wait a minute, James Darren, the producer, the actor, the guy? He said, yeah. He said, I just wanted to call and tell you how much I really enjoy your show. And while I'm working over here, and we just really enjoy listening. I'm going, oh my God, James Darren called my show to say how much he loved listening to my show? I mean, I was flabbergasted. And I'm at this moment, this was 20 years ago or whatever, and at this moment, I'm still touched by the fact that he would do that. I mean, what a nice thing. I mean, seriously.
Did you beg him for a gig on one of his movies?
I did with
Tony Shalhoub's sister?
His sister who lives in North
Embarrassing
Georgia.
all of us in the broadcasting industry.
That was the second most embarrassing thing.
Lowering yourself to absolutely begging. Oh, please.
I'll do anything. I'll pay you. No union scale. I'll pay you anything. I just want to a crowd shot. Just maybe a dead guy. Maybe shoot me. How about shoot me in a
I want to meet your brother. I want to be a star.
No, I didn't want to be a star. I just wanted to be in a movie.
And you kept doing it.
I kept doing it.
Stop talking.
Anyway, 444. Thank you. Mercy.
How many times has she called back?
I think she moved. Fairly sure she moved. Took out her earbuds.
She lost her number.
I couldn't find it. It's 4:45 already. And coming up, President Stupid Face has done it again. He apparently thinks he talked to one of the dead hostages by Hamas. This your president. But it's over. He made a joint appearance over the weekend and said, well, of course, I'll be on the sideline.
He's retired.
It's done. It's over.
Not the Bees, or it was the Babylon Bee says down in Disney, they have the Hall of Presidents and everything.
Yeah.
And they put Biden there in a beach chair.
And by the way, speaking of that, source says Kamala side piece was promoted at McDonald's after having an affair with Mayor McCheese. So she did have that job at McDonald's.
There's a meme out of her and the McDonald's thing, and she goes, "Would you like lies with that?"
One of my other favorites. Look at a picture of Carmela. Woman who got soldiers killed condemns man who comforted their families. 446. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Tweets coming up. Holy crap, in sports, we got it all. The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, right?
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Donald Trump's spokesman saying, enough with the games. We accepted the ABC debate for the exact same terms as the CNN debate. And now the Harris camp wants a seated debate with notes and opening statements. We said no changes to the rules. If Carmela's not smart enough to repeat the messaging points her handlers want her to memorize, that's their problem. It's a pattern for the Harris campaign. They won't allow her to do interviews. They won't allow her to do press conferences. And now they won't give her they want to give her a cheat sheet. They're looking for a way to get out of any debate with Donald Trump. There's no way Harris is ready to be commander-in-chief. They're trying to fix it. I mean, they want her to be able to take notes at a table sitting there with notepads.
They're giving her excuses not to debate.
Yeah.
They're trying to not debate.
Exactly. That's exactly true.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Election season is here, and regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, we can all experience the stress of uncertainty. Fear of the unknown can cause us to postpone important decisions that impact our lives, especially in retirement planning. Resist hesitation and contact Masterplan Retirement Consultants, a holistic retirement planning firm dedicated to creating a retirement plan to help with all of life's surprises. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life to see you to and through retirement. Don't leave your retirement up to chance. Create a plan for your retirement and pursue peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies. Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. You know, tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people. Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
It's a funky little song.
It's a Neil Diamond song.
Did he write this one? I'll be darned. I used to do my poetry to Neil. I used to turn the lights off in the living room, and I would write my poetry to listen to Neil Diamond.
Stop talking.
This day in 1983, UB40 had their first British single with Red Red Wine. God, my God, that was 41 years ago?
I saw them at the Fox Theater in 1989.
That's
89.
unbelievable.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
83?
Yeah.
41 years ago, this song, Red Red Wine?
Yeah.
Holy crap. It was their album Labor of Love, a cover for the 68 Neil Diamond hit song. Re-released as a single, number one in 1988. I had no idea it was 41 years old. I don't know why. Be surprised. Anyway, in 452, got a little tweety thing about it. First of all, on this day in history, in 2004, it was a horrific end to the Bestian school hostage crisis in Russia. Armed terrorists held more than 1,000 people. Bundles of explosives went off and set fire to the roof. Hundreds of hostages were killed, including about 200 children dead. Russian forces then stormed the building and killed 31 terrorists. 2004, Russian school hostages. 404-741-1230, 452. We got memes, we got tweets, we got people talking about various stuff. We got people telling me to shut the hell up. And we got Pete Davis, and we got tweets. We got Pete's tweets.
A woman tweets, silly putty implies the existence of serious putty. To which the man replied, I believe that's called C4. More examples of you not hating the media enough. Yeah. CNBC headline. When J.D. Vance spoke to raise the child tax credit, he read, Vance wants to raise the child tax credit to $5,000. Here's why that could be difficult. But when Kamala said the same thing, CNBC headline read, Harris calls for expanded child tax credit of up to $6,000 for families with newborns. Even worse, CNN's headline reporting on the murdered hostages read, Israeli-American hostage Hirsch Goldberg Poland has died.
Has died, yeah.
Like he just up and killed over.
Yeah.
Not murdered, not executed, he just died. Someone has posted signs at Denver bus stops that read, blacks must sit at the back of the bus. Kamala's migrants sit in the front.
Oh, yeah, that's about right.
A glitch in a Chase Bank system let some people withdraw more money than they did have. Some member of a certain community, they went hog wild, even filming videos showing how they had gotten free money and showing how their friends could do it too. The only problem was they were using their own debit cards with their name and bank account stamped right on it. Made it real easy for Chase Bank to find them and place 7-day holds in their accounts with huge negative balances and huge fees.
What makes you think you're going to get away? You know, the machine pumps out a couple extra $1,000. You think they're going to just forget it?
They were doing rap videos talking about the free money and how to get it. Apolitical tweets, no, I don't think authentic street food is worth the rape, murders, and societal collapse that comes with it.
Street vendors? Yeah, there you go, these days.
Oh, that's a great burrito I'm getting there. Oh, God, Phil's dead.
Yeah.
June tweets, being called far-right today is like being called a witch in the Middle Ages. No evidence needed, and it helps the authorities get rid of the ones they don't like.
Good point.
You're a witch. You're far right. Headline reads, America isn't ready for another war because it doesn't have enough troops. To which a gentleman replied, white men no longer want to die for a country that hates them.
Man, we are screwed with our military regiment.
And Tim tweets, I want to see Kamala speak to an all-Asian crowd so I can hear what her accent would be. I'm so sorry about the economy.
Yeah, again, after the top of the hour, we're going to replay all those sound bites of her. And again, it's a little, I mean, if you heard the whole thing, you would certainly understand and realize that she changes her accent depending on what crowd she's talking to.
It's pandering of the worst kind.
They're making a movie.
You think that'd be something that they do back before radio and television when it was print.
Yeah.
But now you think they wouldn't try and get away with that. But that's how stupid people are now.
I mean, we see you and we hear you.
But people just half the country are government-educated morons.
And the other, I don't think they care. I don't. Again, this Tim Walz business. How many times do we have to show that he's a liar and a fake and a fraud and a coward and a cheat and just a dirty, rotten, gutless individual? I mean, this is one of the most despicable human beings in politics ever. I mean, my God.
And embarrassing. Coming out like a game show host.
He's like a marionette, bouncing up and down, waving his arms up. And I mean, he's just, they're acting. They're doing stuff to put it on video to make it look like they're doing something. They're just jumping around and making sound bites.
And we just had 2 more people arrested for being Chinese spies in our government.
Yeah,
and you're going to put the Manchurian candidate in there as vice president?
Yeah. Governor Hochul, New York, her Chinese, what the hell was she? She was her aide, or one of her chief aides, and the woman's husband, China woman, just got caught being unregistered agents for communist China.
And they've proven that, or they're alleging that she changed policy. Not only did she change policy there in New York State, but she changed the way communist China was mentioned when they talked about him.
I mean, they're here. They're doing it. Well, how about what's his name? Got the honey trap with a Chinese spy chick from the California.
Fang
Swalwell.
Well, we know that they're in the media. We know, especially they're in the universities, because these funding. What they do is they supply funding for all these projects, and then they say, "Well, if you don't do what we say, we pull the funding."
Yeah.
So the universities are afraid of them.
I heard somebody the other day. It might have been I guess it was over the weekend, talking kind of philosophically about what led to all this wokeness and all this business with the hate and everything else. And he said it started with higher education. The people who have changed from the top down have been grooming and teaching and infiltrating the minds of people who then pass it down. Again, it starts from the top down in higher education. And I got to thinking, it makes a lot of sense because they're carrying on the message
to their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be just the opposite. The best educational system in the world would be one where you're always learning and questioning and researching and reasoning and opening your mind, as opposed to dividing and conquering and I mean, the disillusionment is just unbelievable. It's exactly the opposite of what it ought to be.
They don't teach them how to think. They teach them what to think now.
458, little Flounder's funny here, sir.
I don't know. You know what the worst things are? Those automated machines. You guys have those out here? Those automated checkout machines? I couldn't believe it. The first time I walked into a supermarket and I saw that, I was like, this is ridiculous. Here it is. I thought I was a comedian. Evidently, I also work at a grocery store. Holy shit, I can't believe I forgot my apron. Was I working tonight? I should have checked the schedule. Dude, you realize the balls of that?
Here, you
the
do
balls of that. Yeah, I'm going to have a store. You come in, you pick out what you want, you bring it up, you ring it up, you pay me, you put it in a bag, and then you get the out of my store. Let's go, people. Step it up. I'm trying to run a business here. Dude, if that is the future, if there's going to be no employees at a grocery store, I'm never paying for food again. Then when security shows up, you just play dumb. Like, what? I didn't know. Sir, you have to bring that back. No, I don't. What, are you going to cut my hours? I work here.
I mean, it's like ATM. I had a banker once tell me that the ATMs where you have to pay to do your own business at the ATM, it's a way for you to save your own. I said, no, it's a way for us to do your business for you. So I don't have to have a teller give me the $20. Instead, I get it off I have to do it myself in your machine. I'm doing your business for you. And you're charging me $3 or $5 for it? I'm doing your business, and you charge me to do your banking.
I love the self-checkout.
I do, too.
I love
it. The philosophy is pretty, when they pretend that they're doing you a favor.
Especially when you're buying something embarrassing.
Yeah, 5 o'clock, Carapine Flounder. I need the cash, honey. Be right with you. Start without me. Catch up.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Back to class and protests on some college campuses. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Students returning to New York's Columbia University today facing pro-Palestinian demonstrators just a few months after a building was taken over on campus.
We have been very clear that this will not stop until Columbia has divested from its complicity in Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people.
The Columbia president resigned last month. At least 2 protesters were arrested today. The White House says President Biden will keep pushing for a deal between Israel and Hamas after 6 hostages were killed in Gaza, including an American Israeli.
Make no mistake about it, Hamas leaders are going to pay for these crimes. And he and his team, for sure, will keep working around the clock to get this hostage deal done.
Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre declining to elaborate on the president's suggestion yesterday that the Israeli prime minister hasn't done enough. The White House says it's troubled by an attack on U.S. Marines in Turkey.
2 Marines on shore leave from the USS Wasp in the western Turkish port city of Izmir were assaulted by a nationalist and anti-American group. They made it back to their ship after other Marines and police intervened. They had been checked out at a hospital, found to be unharmed.
Fox's Greg Palcott. Local officials reporting 15 arrests. The group behind the attack is critical of the U.S. role in the Middle East. 1 week from today, former President Trump will face his second debate opponent of 2024, now that Vice President Harris is the Democrats' nominee.
Tomorrow, Trump is scheduled to appear at a Fox News town hall in Pennsylvania. Friday, he'll speak at the Fraternal Order of Police's fall meeting in North Carolina, and then on to Wisconsin this weekend. States with tight polling that reflect the several key battlegrounds that will decide this election.
Fox's Rich Edson. Fox News just confirming Vice President Harris will travel to Pittsburgh tomorrow and remain in Pennsylvania until the September 10th debate. America is listening to Fox News.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Madam Giselle senses something big coming. Is it a career change? Everything looks wet. I'm going to be a swim teacher. There's a roof. A swim teacher who also does roofing. No, the roof of your RV has a leak and it's ruining the furniture. Oh, that's okay. I'm covered by Progressive. But maybe I'm a swim teaching roofer who makes furniture.
Customize your coverage with Progressive's Roof Protection Plus and be prepared for the unexpected. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roof Protection Plus available for RVs less than 6 years old. $250 deductible applies to any claim.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flank. Ready on your dog. Target. Road guards out. Look out. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 503 with Pete Davis and the Flounder on 106.3. Here's number 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Good to have you aboard with us on your Tuesday. Hope your 3-day weekend was a good one, Labor Day weekend. I can't believe we're already in September.
I know. The leaves are starting to turn up in the mountains.
Yes, they are. In fact, they're all over the street, too, driveways. I mean, all of a sudden, they're, they're falling. Here we go. Anyway, let's see. We got a million things coming up. Holy crap, it's sports coming up. Also, more Flounders Funnies for you, and a lot of political stuff here, including a story that I'm a little nervous about this, but again, I Googled the source of the TV station in San Francisco, and I don't know why other people haven't picked this up. But I'm going to read you a story here, which to me is absolutely astounding, and why it hasn't. Well, we understand if this is all true and it's a legit thing, the only explanation is that we keep telling you that we don't. There aren't enough reasons to hate the media enough, and here's another good one. This story came out today. It's a repeat of a story that came out dated June 2011. Here's the story. Kamala Harris was driving a car when she hit 2 pedestrians and left the scene of an incident in San Francisco. One of the victims, Alicia Brown, decided to make the story public. Here's what happened. Quote, happened on the corner of Post Street and Jones Street, crossing the road. Out of nowhere, a car came out of us. It hit us behind a parked van. We were not expecting this because there is a one-way traffic on that street, so we weren't expecting anyone to drive from that direction. Mom reacted quickly and jumped back. She tugged my arm, but she was too late to save me. The driver hit the brakes, but it was also too late. I was hit in the side and thrown onto the road. I fell on the curb, hit my back. I remember lying on the side of the road watching the woman who hit me. Of course, back then, I didn't know that it was Kamala Harris, California Attorney General. At the moment, I saw only a frightened, strange woman. I was lying and looking at her, and she was sitting at the wheel looking back at me. I heard my mother screaming, and then the woman turned away from me, started the car, and drove off quickly. I tried to turn my head and look at my mom, but that's when the pain overwhelmed me, and I just passed out. The day after the incident, I saw my mom talking with two men who came to the hospital. They were standing outside the room. When my mom came back to me, I asked her who those two people were. She said the woman who hit me was Kamala Harris, a very powerful woman, and those men were her people. She was told that if this story gets out, we'll be in very big trouble. She was told that if she loves me, she shouldn't report this or look for justice. I was really devastated because I know I can't walk anymore because of my fractured spine. Kamala Harris served as San Francisco DA from 2004 to 2011. In 2011, elected to Attorney General, had relationships with Willie Brown, mayor of San Francisco. As a result of the accident, Alicia Brown suffered injuries to her pelvis, ribs, and spine. Over the next 3 months, the girl had to undergo 11 surgeries. Despite all the efforts of doctors, she could never walk again. The girl will be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her days. The administration of our channel contacted Vice President of the TV station, Harris's office, for clarification, and they refused to comment. Kamala Harris, hit and run of a 13-year-old girl, left crippled for the rest of her life.
Allegedly. We can't find that anywhere else but that one place.
Well, luckily, we don't have to have truth or sources anymore.
I guess so.
Well, in fact, didn't Neil Bortz do his commentary? Remember, he was talking about the South Dakota of the thing with the monument, with the Adirondack thing. What do you call it there? The
Adirondacks are not in South Dakota.
I know. The Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
And he if I recall, the case at CNN covered Bill Clinton went to Mount Rushmore in 1988
Obama.
or whatever.
It was Obama.
Clinton first.
Okay.
Clinton first went to Mount Rushmore. And CNN said this is one of the greatest tributes of patriotism of all time, the founding fathers, and show how much respect he has for the founding of America. That was Bill Clinton. Then Putitat went, and they said, oh my God, the four founding fathers showing once again the spirit of America to bring us in from a colony to the most important and powerful country in the world, showing the people who have led this nation to give us what we are today. Donald Trump goes to Mount Rushmore, and he's standing before the four white supremacists who are ruining the nation built on slavery. That was CNN, all three presidents, totally different story when Donald Trump went. That's the media.
Yeah.
So so luckily, if that's the media, then I'm the media. I believe this to be true.
And there's no editors anymore to say, that's a little hypocritical.
Yeah,
we shouldn't do that.
Oh, please.
Because they all think the same way.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And by the way, 509, in case you missed this too, this is pretty funny. Carmela's side piece now has a new way of avoiding the media. And again, I wonder, this is September 3rd. We have 2 months and 2 days before the election. Do you think that she can pull it off where she will never actually have a news conference?
Yes.
Where she will not schedule to stand at a podium answering questions. No. I don't think she'll ever do it.
She won't do it.
I think she'll do this drive-by where they'll shout a question on the tarmac someplace, or after a speech they'll shout a couple things to her and she'll make a couple of quick comments and then off she goes.
It'll be staged.
But has there? I'm trying to remember or think. Of course, in days before TV, that's all they had was talking to the reporters, but pencil pushers. But since the 50s, I can't imagine that a presidential candidate would not hold a news conference. I think about it. I don't mean a sit-down interview with somebody friendly with no follow-up questions. I mean oh my God. Is it possible that she would go the rest? And he too, there's no way he could have a news conference. He's got 9 things to glom him on. Tampon Tim, the cowardice, running away from your unit, lying about the weapons of war, lying about being at war. I mean, oh my God. Oh, this is unbelievable.
And the press will just sit there and let him do it.
If they do, it's the downfall. Oh, my God.
If she wins, it's the United States. It's the end of what we knew it as, what we grew up in.
We're not going to take it.
Because there's 100 million of us that won't live under that. What she's going to try and do, we're not going to live under that. There will have to be a partition at some point if she wins, because no one's going to live under that thinks like I do.
And again, just over the weekend, the New York Times opinion editor, New York Times, wrote an article saying that the United States Constitution is a danger to American citizens. It's dangerous to American citizens. And one of the reasons it's dangerous is because it calls for an electoral college. Yep. And this opinion editor believes that to have a true democracy, we really should be voting as a democracy, and one vote, one count, and we'll just vote by a popular election.
It's not going to happen.
Which means 4 states will own the presidency.
Well, the rest of us will be slaves.
Yeah. That's right.
Basically. And I mean that. We'll be slaves. We'll have to do what New York, L.A., Chicago wants us to do.
Again, this is the New York Times calling for dismantling the Constitution. How my God, I can't imagine my grandparents or my parents even having a conversation about this kind of thing. I mean, seriously, can you imagine your mother and your father? I mean, honest to God.
As someone pointed out last week, I forget his name, he pointed out the reason we have the Electoral College, that was the reason the states, okay, we'll form this union, but it's got to be like this so we have equal. That Rhode Island doesn't get run over.
13 colonies all have a right to. That's why everybody gets 2 senators, and then you get your population based on how many people you have, which is fair. Bigger states, have more people, but still, everybody gets 2 senators. Everybody's supposed to be the same.
And if they want to change the rules of the union, then there's no more union.
Yeah, it's over.
We're going to have to renegotiate.
Oh, man, and you can't have democracy is ridiculous. It's like you go into your boss and you say, "Hey, boss, we took a vote, and we're going to now only work 4 days a week for the same money. We took a vote for democracy." I mean, you can't run a business or anything else like that.
It's like the 4 wolves voting on
whether eat the pigs.
What they'll have for dinner.
Yeah, God.
The 2 sheep are sitting there going,
I know, stand by. It's 4-2, I guess. Good Lord. 5:13. Holy crap, and sports is coming up. We got so much more. Kim, Pete, and Flounder. How's your Tuesday going here on 106.3? Look out. Here we go.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Kamala Harris sees an end to right to work. No private sector worker will be allowed to avoid union membership and union dues if that's what the majority of his co-workers want.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Your Atlanta Braves are down to the final few series of the regular season, and they need you at Truist Park when the Dodgers come to town, September 13th through the 16th, followed by the Mets, September 24th through the 26th. Fans can look forward to some great giveaways, including the kids' rubber shoe charms for the first 3,000 kids, and the City Connect replica jersey presented by Xfinity for the first 15,000 fans. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase tickets starting at $9. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors.
neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, The Marketing Madmen. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Extra 106.3.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Oh, look out. Here we go. The 5 o'clock hour, sponsored by our good friends at Lee Brand Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrand.com. And now, 5:17. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves begin a 7-game homestand tonight with 3 against the Rockies. Then the Blue Jays come to Truist Park for 4 games over the weekend. Lefty Kyle Freeland at 4 and something. I forget to put on me. He's lost there. For Colorado against Chris Sale, he's 15-3. That's all that matters.
Great year.
The Bravos, just a half-game lead over the surging Mets for the final wild card spot. And congrats to Raisel Iglesias, named National League Reliever of the Month.
Good, excellent.
That's very good for him. With all the questions about how the bullpen was used against the Phillies, the Bravos lost 3 out of 4 up in Philly. And I remember pointing out last week I wouldn't have used my closer in a 5-1 game in the 9th right before an important 4-game series with the division leaders. Not saying that led to the pen problems, but blowing a 4-run lead in the 9th is kind of rare.
Yeah.
So, if I'm going to bet on my relievers getting 3 outs before the other team scores 4 runs, I don't think he should have pitched Iglesias up, but I don't think that had much to do with it. Tonight is Sean Murphy 2 thumbs up bobblehead giveaway for the first 15,000 fans.
Outstanding.
All right. Sean is in the lineup tonight. Michael Harris leading off. The Cardinals did something they hadn't done since 1964 the other day. What did they do?
The Cardinals from 1964. That was before they were in the American League. Let's see. Stan Musial retired his jersey number.
He was already retired by 64.
But
but
something they never did before. I don't know. Had the Clydesdales run around the infield?
They were playing the Yankees.
Oh, beat the Yankees first time ever.
They beat them in the 64 World Series.
Oh, well, that wouldn't be correct. Then.
It's the first time they'd won against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium since
in Yankee
64.
Stadium. That's what it was.
Yeah, since the series. Speaking of the Phillies, I think we were earlier, one of their minor league teams is using a bat dog to run out the field and grab the bat. Isn't this cute?
I love that.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
After months of training, 10-month-old Labrador Retriever Lucy May made her debut the other night. But instead of going straight to the bat and retrieving it, as was her job, Lucy May ran around the field greeting all the infielders. How cute was that? Just going around.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You got into more dogs. More dogs are better.
And then she channeled her inner Shotzi. Lucy May squatted in the grass at second base and promptly left a steaming Kamala before running around some more. Lucy May's human, Andrew Davis, said he and his fiancée are mortified. When she squatted, I went into panic mode. That's a great video, by the way.
Hysterical, but I mean, you just gotta
everyone's going, ah! Victoria Bowles, who survived the fatal car wreck that killed a Georgia football player and recruiting staffer in January of 23, has settled her claims against the school's athletics department. August 29th filing in state court in Gwinnett County, Bowles' attorney said in a motion that as a result of a compromise and agreement entered between the parties, they're dismissing the UGA Athletic Association as a defendant in the case. Terms of the settlement not known. Her lawsuit against the Eagles defensive lineman Jalen Carter and the estate of Chandler LaCroix, the recruiting staffer who was driving and killed in the wreck, will continue.
Yeah, wow. What a horrible
story. The new AP Top 25 is out. UGA still number one, 57 first-place votes. The Buckeyes only got 5 first-place votes. They are second. Longhorns are third. The Tide are fourth, Fighting Irish fifth. Ole Miss at number 6. Then the Ducks, Nittany Lions, Missouri, and the Wolverines round out the top 10. Hurricanes are 12th. Vols 14th. Sooners 15th. LSU 18th, even though they lost the other night. Georgia Tech at 23 for the first time in a decade. Georgia Tech is back in the AP poll. Clemson brings up the rear at 25th. No members of Florida State were injured in the naming of the AP Top 25. They're out. Both the Bulldogs and Yellow Jackets off to great starts. In fact, the Dogs' 40 straight regular season wins is the longest streak in SEC history. Think about that.
Yeah, and they're on the way Oklahoma had the string of 55 games or something like that.
Oklahoma and Miami had really long strings. Oklahoma in the 50s and Miami, I think, in the 80s, was it?
Bud, what's his name or whatever?
Bud Wilkinson. Bud Wilkinson. I don't know what the powers of hypnosis that DJ Uiagalelei has, but somehow he's managed to mesmerize both Dabo Swinney and now Mike Norvell. Somehow DJ has convinced both coaches he's a competent starting quarterback in FBS-level football, when any common fan of the game can see he's barely by the level of Class 6A in Georgia high school ball. How the hell does he keep... And he stays for the whole game.
I know. Well,
Florida State now 0-2. They were ranked 10th at one point.
Wow.
Yeah. So who had the worst weekend? Dabo Swinney of Clemson or Billy Napier of the Gators? Both got their behinds handed to them by Georgia and Miami, respectively. Dabo refuses to use the transfer portal. He also still owns a landline phone and starts his Model T with a hand crank. He's going to have to change his mind on the transfer portal. Not only is he blind when it comes to transfers, he's also lost the ability to judge quarterbacks, as I mentioned. His new guy is Cade Klubnik. He's about as fast as you think a guy named Klubnik would be called. Has all the moves of a Frigidaire. He's a Taylor Heineke clone without the talent. I'm telling you, and he played and played and played. Why is he out there? Of all the quarterbacks they could get there at Clemson, remember Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Dabo says that he did a lot of positive things, though. Cade did. They scored
3 points. Yeah.
Billy Napier, so far over his head, he lists the Marianas Trench as his address these days. I'm telling you, he's over his head.
He's way over his head, sir.
The Hurricanes spanked Florida in the swamp, and congrats to Miami tight end Cam McCormick. I said Cam McCormick. Not yet. Don't get ahead of me. Cam's college career began 9 years ago. But scored his first touchdown Saturday.
Did you hear I finally graduated?
Yeah, in just a shade under a decade, too. All right.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
Brett McMurphy tweets, Florida has allowed the most points in a home opener in school history. And it's still the third quarter. Sports writer Mike Griffith predicts that Liberty head coach, former Coastal Carolina Chanticleer, Jamie Chadwell, will replace Napier.
Chanticleer? We're going back to Chaucer, are we?
Well, that's what they're called in Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers. Which is a...
Pergolode and Chanticleer is a chicken, right?
That was a trivia question last night, too, and which I knew, but I did. Yeah, it's a chicken. It's a rooster.
Yeah, see, I knew that from
and I didn't
Chaucer.
guess it, and I should have. In the 15th century, this set of books was sold for like $8 million recently.
Wow.
And it was the Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales. I've ever read it in the Old English?
I tried once.
Nightmare.
It is a horrible... Like Beowulf.
Oh,
Well, Dabo owned up to the loss, saying, when you get beat like that, that's on the head coach. Complete ownership of an absolute crap second half. Sometimes you get your butt kicked, and we did today.
I saw him at that news conference, and he said, I have to do a better job of having them step on their throat when you get them down or when you have a chance to do something.
When did he have Georgia down?
But he said when you have a chance to finish them, and I thought to myself, didn't see a lot of finishing.
It's like last night. Boston College went through Florida State like they had like they had no nose tackle.
It was unbelievable.
Up the middle all night. Anyway,
I don't get it.
Remember last week, and I told you Oklahoma State was putting QR code decals on their helmet to help with the NIL deals?
Yes.
Turns out the Cowboys maybe should have run that little idea by the NCAA first.
Oh, boy.
The Grand Poobahs ruling that advertisements are not permitted, saying that they're ads. They'll work out the compromise at some point. They'll all have them by the end of the year.
An ad.
By the end of the year, they'll all have the damn QR codes on there. It was the most 60-point wins by a conference, the SEC, in a single day in the AP poll era that goes back to 1936.
Wow.
Ole Miss led with a 76-0 drubbing of poor Furman. Auburn, the Volunteers, and the Crimson Tide also had banner offensive Saturdays, and Vanderbilt won. Vanderbilt won. SEC Shorts did a great video, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet. Very funny.
Really?
Meanwhile, former Falcons receiver Roddy White has an interesting theory for Clemson's blowout loss to Georgia.
All right.
Quote, Clemson got way too many white dudes on the field on offense. This ain't them. You mean to tell me you only got one black dude out there making plays? That's a recruiting problem, end quote.
There you go.
They only had one black guy out there on offense?
I didn't
count. Yeah. I didn't notice it here. With their loss to Boston College last night, FSU chances of making the 12-team playoff is down to 1%, according to ESPN. And the dude that tweeted he would eat dog dewey out of a red Solo cup with a spoon and post a video of him doing it saying, book it, has deleted his Twitter account.
No, I can't believe it.
Falcons getting ready for their opening game of the new Raheem Morris regime at home against the Steelers this weekend. Happy birthday to Coach Morris today.
Excellent.
Adam Schefter of ESPN reporting the Falcons have the 5th oldest roster. They're going to win now. Average age is almost, how old do you think?
Oh, 5th old is probably 28.
27.
27?
Very close, very close. The Dolphins, the oldest at 28. Hope you're not too shocked when I say the NFL is not pulling the Packers-Eagles game out of Brazil, despite that country banning Twitter and threatening its citizens with huge fines if they get caught.
Why would anybody have anything to do with Brazil or Venezuela or Canada or Britain or France? I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, seriously, how could you put up with this? Why would you want to celebrate? You're just giving them great publicity let's go to Brazil, let's go to Rio. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And Kamala said not too long ago that Elon Musk and Twitter should be taken down, or he should be kicked off social media because she doesn't like what he says.
That's right.
And you got Keith Ellison, the Muslim guy, used to be the mayor or the governor of Minnesota or something.
Well, he was the attorney general, I think.
Thanking Brazil for doing it.
Yeah, God.
For calling for the ban on free speech. Pro-Kamala Harris posters claiming the Eagles are endorsing her, showing up on Philadelphia bus stops. Eagles fans are posting over those. I just wonder what they're saying. And if you're running out of things to bet on, all you need is a pool table and a Roomba robot vacuum.
A pool table and a Roomba robot vacuum. One of those that runs around the floor. Okay, how would that be connected with anything?
You place the Roomba on the table.
On the pool table.
You turn it on, you put your money on top of it, you let it wander around, pushing the balls into the pockets.
Oh.
And you can bet on the first ball to go, the first solid or strike, the last ball to go, whatever you want to gamble on.
That's for you gamblers, it's like my brothers. Both my brothers lost everything gambling. They were the guys who would be on a golf course and throw a tee into a creek and bet on which one of the tees would get to the bottom first.
That's poo sticks.
They would bet on the color of the next car coming down the street. I'm not a gambler.
I like to place a bet every now and then.
Let me ask you a quick question about the Georgia Bulldogs game.
Yes.
What was it, 6-3 at the half or something? And then
they were testing things out early.
The first quarter was really slow.
It was slow. Scoreless, wasn't it, or something?
Yes. Now, but again, they came out on fire.
Well, they started throwing the ball. They saw what Clemson was going to do. They're going to play close and tight up front. And Georgia said, okay, we'll just toss her out to the end there.
A full first half is a long time to feel out what they're doing. I was kind of surprised by that.
And then I think when Georgia finally realized they're not that good, they just rolled over.
Have fun.
And they did it without their best running back.
That's right. He's still out, right? Yeah. Has he been suspended for?
He wouldn't say whether he's suspended or not.
I think they kept him out. By the way, Pete, a couple of quick things here. Jenny Finch. Remember her? 44. Olympic softball pitcher, hot blonde chick, took home the gold in Athens and in Beijing, got the silver. Jenny is 44. Shaun White, the Olympic snowboarder, the flying tomato. Shaun White, the gold medal snowboarder, 38 years old today. And I got a couple things. We'll come back here. 5:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. More politics coming up. Flounder's Funnies, and we got it all at 106.3. Look out.
Breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
All right, I got now. It's only me. 5:31. It's only the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder right up until 6 o'clock. And Braves are back in town, so that's pretty exciting. Atlanta Safe House back in town, too. By the way, it's now September. And from right now, as of the 1st of September, right now, up until the rest of the year, from now till the rest of the year, if you get a safe at Atlanta Safe House will pay the sales tax. Any safes you buy the rest of the year, Atlanta Safe House will pay the sales tax. And they're always having things on special, those gun safes, like the Kimmer gun safes. I bought a couple of those babies. Unfortunately, didn't take my safes down to Florida when I retired down there many years ago and lost my medical records. You know the whole story. Don't be like me. Be much smarter. Now, my kids know where to find stuff. If I go or something happens, they know my medical records, my living will, which is pretty important, I would say, financial stuff, and, just things you need to save. Not only that, but also guns and weapons and jewelry and cash and documents, business records, stuff like that. And by the way, the safe, the big gun safes, by the way, are beautiful. They're not just big empty caves, you put your rifles in or something. They have nooks and crannies and shelving units. They can build you, design you anything that's made just for you. Atlanta Safe House, Jeff and Mark, these guys can actually build you a family storm shelter. I'm not kidding. The pistol safes, man, check out these babies. They're beautiful. Everything's pretty much on sale, all the top brands, and they only use off-duty police, firefighters, and military folks to deliver your safe to you wherever you want it. They can bolt it from the inside of your concrete floor, your garage, if you feel like it too, because you can trust the people they send to go into your house or your office. Atlanta Safe House, protecting your stuff, protecting your rights as well. Nobody gets your special safe code stuff except you. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. They have a showroom in Acworth. They love when you stop in on Industrial Boulevard. Just say howdy and see what's going on. And on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you,
I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. You know, tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people. Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Finally, there is conservative talk in Atlanta, Georgia.
Baby, I can't make a concert. I can't show up, baby. No. You'll be great. No, listen. No, that was a first for me too, baby. AV, let it go, sweetie. You'll be great. I can't. No, it wouldn't be fair. You do your thing. Concert. All right, I love you, baby. No. I always have that. Always have that week. All right, love you. 5:37. Kimmer Pete Flies, Avril Lavigne.
Celloist?
No, Avril's got her concert tonight at near where I live. Avril Lavigne tonight.
Oh, really?
So yeah, she tried to get me to go up and see her again tonight, and I said no, I'm not going to. I'm going to go to the stable. I got to. In fact, I have 3 days, three shows: Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Events at Ameris Amphitheater.
Well, it is a concert venue.
I know. Well,
and it's nice weather.
So I'll be going to the stable after work today to avoid the traffic.
You can walk across and see a Braves game.
I could do that. Well, I'm going to go play with the horses.
You got to play the horses. I thought you didn't gamble.
Play with the horses. Anyway, with this thing there. Anyway, now back to the actual program.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
Michael Harris II, that play he made, that catch in center field. Did you see that?
Oh, my God.
Unreal.
The greatest ever. I think it's better than Otis Nixon's.
They only put that at number 2 on the month.
It's the play of the week.
I saw
Weekend Highlights had it at number 2. Kimmer's right. Yesterday.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it.
It's the play of the week. It's just
hell was a play of the month, play of the year.
It was better than Otis Nixon's catch. I defy you to tell me it was.
Unbelievable. What a great.
He almost did a total turnaround.
He had to twist and turn and get. It's oh my God.
Even the Phillies relievers are like,
yeah. It was fabulous catch. Congratulations on that. Ringo Starr, on this day, 1968, decided to go back to the Beatles. He had been gone for 2 weeks. Ringo rejoined the Beatles in 1968 on this day. Upon his return to the studio, Ringo found his drum kit was covered with flowers to welcome him back.
You know what he did?
What did he do?
He went on Peter Sellers' yacht in the Mediterranean and hung out for a week.
Is that what it was? Peter Sellers. He had to be a great guy.
No, he was supposedly
a jerk?
crazy.
Really?
And he even said, I have no personality. I'm whoever I'm playing. He didn't know who he was.
I'll be damned. And Inspector Clouseau was just, as good as it gets.
I saw a skit he did on the Dean Martin show with Dean Martin, and that had me cracking up. And it was all so stupid, but it was just funny.
Yeah. Well, remember he played Chauncey Gardner, the guy who was a gardener at the White House, and
here's one of the
made
jokes.
all the decisions for the president.
He's playing a doctor, and Dean Martin's in there. He goes, "Hold on a second, I got to give my wife a buzz." And he picks up the phone and goes, "Hey, darling, yeah."
Well, he said. By the way, Pete, a couple of sports things here. 1999, Mario Lemieux, hockey star, now an owner, was on this day. Lemieux's ownership team took over control of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mario became the first player to own the team he played for. 99. And on this day in 1984, not many pro baseball closers were more famous than Bruce Sutter. Maybe the Sandman, but Sutter set a National League record in 1984, earning his 38th save of the season with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah. And then in the offseason, I was living in San Diego, and the Braves sucked at the time, and they never got any of the great free agents, and they signed Bruce Sutter, the greatest closer of all time. So I went next door where I worked, and I got a little jersey, a Braves jersey, and had Sutter put on the back of it because I was young and stupid, and I didn't know you're not supposed to do things like that. But I did it because I was that excited.
Yeah. And
he had blown his arm out. Whitey Herzog had pitched him so much, his arm was shot by the time he got here.
Yeah. But again, Bruce Sutter.
And he had a few good years, but still, it wasn't Bruce Sutter.
Yeah.
What a great guy, though. I had a chance to talk to him. What a great guy. He's no longer with us, but he was really fun to talk to.
Yeah. And
I love that. It was like not a fork ball, the split finger man.
I don't know how he
almost unhittable.
Yeah. In fact, you know what's amazing to me? I'm sorry, I'm going to talk baseball here for a second. All of a sudden, I don't watch a lot of baseball. I do because I'm doing, but when I do watch, it's really amazing now. They actually tell not only the spin rate of the pitches, but whether it was a four-seamer or a two-seamer or a cutter, or it's like 5 different possibilities, and they know that instantaneously. It's like the machine. I guess the computer
is
tells
focused on their hand.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It is amazing.
I mean, I said, how the hell did he know that was a four-seamer? But I mean, it was just, I was just flabbergasted.
The science behind
technology. And I love I love it.
It's almost too much, though. It's almost.
There's a lot.
It's too much thinking.
There's a lot. I hope they don't.
Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden they're talking about launch angles and 12-degree.
Well, they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit. We're kind of going back to actually hitting the ball.
I haven't seen much launch angle stuff lately, so that might be a good sign. Kimmer Pienflatter, 542-404-741-1230, 741-1230. And by the way, one more golf thing, too, a sports thing. I watched the tournament at East Lake, and boy, is that course changed. I mean, it's still the same course, but I noticed a lot of differences. I played there twice, 30 years ago. Anyway,
bingo.
Well, I'll never go back. I'll never go
East
back.
Lake.
Oh yeah,
bingo card.
Okay. Well, I mean, this wasn't really a thing. I haven't really talked about me at East Lake. But anyway, but so I'm watching a little bit of the golf tournament, and here's how much golf has changed. If you're a golfer, and you guys may not relate to this, at East Lake, Scotty Scheffler. Well, I mean, you don't play golf.
I can see you directing that to me, but Flounder should have taken offense to that.
Well, I'm not a good golfer. He's played. We played around.
Flounder. No. You actually are going to be if you keep going. But Flounder's a beginner, so he may not know about things like this. When I tell you this, you'll be flabbergasted. Scotty Scheffler. On the par 3 ninth hole, which used to be the closing hole 18, now they switched to 9. So the par 3 number 9 is 236 yards. 236 yards. He hit a 4-iron to 3 feet. A 4-iron, 236 yards in the air. I promise you, if there's a 3-handicap golfer listening right now, I'll bet you he hits his 4-iron 190. maybe 200.
What's the farthest you should be able to hit an iron?
Well, I mean, who knows? When I was like a 2 or 3 handicap, the most I ever hit a 4-iron was 190. That's the most I could ever hit. A high fade 4-iron was 190. But pros these days are hitting 8 irons 190, 7 irons 190. It's unbelievable. They got to do something. The courses are all obsolete. They got to change the ball or make. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, a 4-iron, 236 yards in the air to 3 feet. God bless them. Anyway, 544. God, I can't believe it. Carmela, she's got a new habit going on now to get away from reporters. And again, I'll bet you she's going to try to get away with not holding a single news conference between now and November 5th. She now was flocking to reporters trying to ask her questions at the Joint Andrews Air Base in Maryland, campaigning through the Midwest. And now what she does is she wears a pair of headphones as she's wading through the reporters, trying to question her. And their journalists overheard trying to get her to answer questions about Hamas and everything else. And she waves dismissively while she's adjusting her headphones like she's trying to make a call or study something on her earbuds and stuff like that.
Well, not only that, she's so dumb that there's one shot where she has the phone in her ear with the headphones.
With the headphones, yeah. I mean, who's she trying to kid?
She's a moron. Let's face it. She's stupid.
If Donald Trump doesn't come to her and challenge her on that debate, which is what, next Thursday, isn't it?
Next Tuesday, isn't it?
Or next Tuesday, a week from today. If he doesn't say, I challenge you, I demand that both of us hold individual, separate news conference at a podium with no notes, answering questions from any reporter who wants to ask him for at least 1 hour, at least twice a week.
Yeah.
And see what she says.
You know that stupid idea she has of the unrealized capital gain?
Oh, my God. Tell that story.
People don't understand what this means. Missy has put it in plain English. Your mom purchased her home 40 years ago, paid $50,000 for it. All paid off, which is great because mom is living on a fixed income. It's now worth $500,000. Kamala wants her to pay 25% of that gain, even though she has no plans on selling her home. Now, mom has to take out a $112,000 loan on the home to pay the 25% Kamala unrealized capital gain. Mom cannot afford that loan on her fixed income with rising inflation, so she loses the home she raised her family in and worked so hard to pay off. But don't worry, a big corporation will come in and buy her home and rent it back to her. They said you will own nothing and be happy. Do you now see how they will accomplish that? Drain your savings and tax you out of your home. Capital gains will also apply to your 401, etc. Do a lot of thinking before you elect this woman.
By the way, that is a frightening scenario, and it's real.
That's how the government and the banks will take your property.
Taxing you on a house that you own, but because it's more valuable now, you have to pay for that even though you're not moving. You're not selling it. You're not doing anything.
It's a plan to take your stuff.
Remember I told you Massachusetts makes you fill out forms of how much you have in your home and what you paid for it and what it's worth. So they can tax you on your belongings.
They said it. You will own nothing and you will be happy. They're going to confiscate all your property, and this is how they do it. How about this? How about once you pay off your home loan, it also incentivizes you to do it quicker. You no longer pay property taxes. How about that? That way they can never steal your land or your home.
Right. 547, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Not done yet, baby. Look out. Here we go.
Hey, it's Rhino from The Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
When they tear the country down and they remake it, what are we going to look like? Because there's not another place in the world that I would want to live and having a freedom that I have in the United States of America. Which country are they going to remake it to look like that is going to be as great as the United States of America? I can't think of one.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
One of the hardest things to do is to walk away from a paycheck. As retirement planners, Masterplan knows how hard it can be to pull the trigger on your own retirement. Don't go it alone. Masterplan is a holistic retirement planning firm that works with you to create a retirement plan to help maximize your golden years. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life. Enter retirement with confidence. Contact Masterplan to analyze your retirement outlook and create a plan that's right for you. All initial consultations are complimentary, so contact us today and begin your pursuit towards peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
What's the mystery behind Mystery Valley Golf Course? Is it the fact that it's been voted one of Atlanta's must-play courses? Or is it the fact that it's conveniently located from anywhere in Atlanta? Or maybe it's because Mystery Valley has recently renovated the course, adding all new tipped Bermuda putting greens, upgrading all 66 sand bunkers, and improving the clubhouse and amenities all around. No matter what it is, Mystery Valley Golf Club has been a staple of the Atlanta golf community for many years, and it reopened with the new renovations. Now is the perfect opportunity to make a tee time and enjoy a round of golf at Mystery Valley, located next to Stone Mountain in Lithonia, taking all of the beautiful natural scenery while enjoying a fantastic round of golf. Go to MysteryValleyGolfCourse.com to book tee times. But one question will always remain: how did Mystery Valley get its name?
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris.
Also coming up, more of the Vice President Shiftless and Lazy's lies and mistruths coming up here with the Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Also her fakery by changing her dialogue and her dialect every time she gets to a different crowd. All coming up. Kimmer Pete and Flounder, how's it going? 552 404-741-1230. Almost running out of time here. Are the Braves playing tonight? Are they back on tonight? 3 games. Is there 4 games?
3 against Colorado.
And then a 4 game.
And 4 against Toronto.
Wow, that's cool. Let's see. On this day in history, in 1939, Britain and France declared war on Germany 2 days after the Nazis invaded Poland. Now, you in 1954, you may have heard the William Tell Overture enough in years past to know what it means to generations. Flounder, if you will, sir. 1954. To the actual. Oopsie.
fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger.
Okay, that's fine. How different is that from what you remember maybe seeing on television with a hearty hi? I mean, what a different thing. This was the radio version, and on this day in 1954, it was all over. The last of the original radio series since 1933. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, by the way, ended in 1966 on this day. David and Ricky and all that stuff.
I have a confession to make.
All right, sir.
I have misled you.
Oh, no, what happened?
Misled you all.
What happened?
They're not playing 4 against the Blue Jays this week.
Oh, it's only 3.
Cincinnati's coming in on Monday for a makeup game.
I got you.
So it's the Red
Anyway, we got a couple of calls. Swatoon and John's coming up. Swatoon, you on the radio. My friend, how's it going? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, I got a request for you, if possible.
Yes.
When Trump win in the November, can you do like Kim dance, the victory dance?
A victory dance?
YouTube Mafia?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll dance. Hell, I'll take my shirt off again. Hell, take it off right now. No, I won't.
No, not now. I'm not on the YouTube. I'm in the car, so I cannot watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will definitely do that. We'll definitely do a victory dance. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, Swatoon, 5:55. John, I think you're still with us. You're on the radio. How you doing, John? What's up?
Yo, Skimmer.
Yes, sir.
On this tax deal.
Yeah.
All right. The question I have is, how many times will they levy that tax and when?
You know, that's a great question.
Every year?
I think it's every year. I think you pay your taxes every. Although, I mean, they could make a rule. I mean, again, it's not in writing right now. So whatever she comes up with as a plan is whatever she comes up with, and theoretically, it could be every year. Well, I mean, hell, my taxes.
If your property values hit the tank, like we're expecting things to do here next year or so.
Yeah.
You know, are they going to reimburse you?
Well, no, hell no.
You're going to keep your money and steal it and give it to Ukraine and get it back in
And by the way, John, this is a great. Let me throw this out philosophically. Here's what also could happen: if that rule goes in, the most powerful people in the realm of property taxes are going to be the assessors. And I can tell you this, the most powerful people in places like Louisiana and places like New Orleans are the county, or they call them parishes, the parish assessors, because they set the property rates. They are more, in fact, that's why the public schools are so bad in Louisiana, because the property rates are set so low for the taxes, they don't raise enough money to take care of the school children. And the reason they do it is because the assessors are elected. And if you elect a guy who promises to lower your property taxes, he's going to get the office, which means you don't pay very high property taxes, and that's why the schools suck. In fact, I'll tell you this, when I bought a 4-bedroom house in a cul-de-sac in New Orleans, I believe my property tax, I swear to God, I'm not making this up, I think my property tax was something like $200 a year for a house, a 4-bedroom house.
That's about $1,500 a year.
I mean, it's just outrageous.
Of course, I'm in Jackson County, right outside of Jefferson, Georgia, which is number 3 in the nation.
Yeah. Well, again, John, whatever they come up with, either way, it's going to be there's going to be all kinds of shenanigans and people, trying to make deals to make your property lower. I mean, the whole thing is just a nightmare. But they're trying to fix. They're trying to make things happen as opposed to
steal more money.
Yeah, it's just
so they can get the money laundering back from Ukraine.
It's wrong in every way. Yeah, John. Semper Fi, my friend, I appreciate it. 404-741-1230. Not like we have a lot of time here because we got a little thing here with the Flounders.
The other day, I got stuck in a no left turn only lane.
No left turn only.
I didn't know what to do either. No left turn only. I ended up just taking the plates off and leaving it there. I saw a sign the other day. Do you know what it said? It said, "Don't even think about parking here." Yeah. So I parked there without even thinking about it. Just right in there. Save me an hour. Cool beans. I was driving through a construction zone one time, and there was a big sign that said, "Dip." And then 50 feet later on the same road, there was a big sign that said, "Bump."
Dip and bump.
And I was thinking, why don't they just take the bumps and put them in the dips? My old school R&B station has been sending me mixed signals. I don't know if I'm supposed to get down on it or get up off of that thing. Get down on it. Okay. Get up off of that thing. Sorry. Get down on it. Okay. Get up off of that thing. I'm in a weird mood. The other day, I locked my coat hanger in my car.
I locked my coat hanger.
Yeah, good thing I had my keys. I'd still be at the mall if it wasn't for those days.
Who's that, Flounder?
That is Mr. Geechee Guy.
I love it. We like that guy. All right, boys. Pete Davis and Flounder. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. I gotta go. You're killing me. Christine, sing me home, baby. Hoorah, look out. Herb, boys, tomorrow. It's all over Humpy. Look out.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.